You are listening to the Interview Podcast,
where we interview the real you.
We discover our guests' passions, skills, dreams, and wisdom they've learned along the way.
Get ready for some friendly banter,
Controversial hot takes.
Christian pickup lines, and riveting conversations.
Let's dive in.
Hey! It is episode numero 23.
Okay. What is up, guys? We are here for another episode, super pumped and excited. And today we have some super special guests, and I will let them introduce themselves.
What's up, guys? I am Derek Miller from North Carolina.
Hello, Derek.
Hello, Derek.
Hi.
Hey, everyone. My name is Jennifer Moss. I am also from North Carolina, and I work at Door of Hope Ministries.
Yeah.
What do you do, Derek?
Gospel Express Ministries.
Same building.
ministries.
Same building, same office. They get our ministries confused a lot, so
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now that everyone is completely confused, so Eugene and I'm Grace Miller.
I'm Eugene Miller.
And we are your hosts today. A little bit of a different setup going on. So we are here with Derek and Jen in honor of both of their 30th birthdays.
Yes.
I was going to say that we're here as hosts because there's been so much feedback after Grace and I's episodes. that people would prefer that we switch roles.
That is not
The reality
fact.
of what's going on is what Grace said.
that would be funny. Yeah.
So our mom, Ruth Ann, actually had this great idea of, in honor, Derek and Jen are both turning 30 in August, in honor of their birthdays, taking the time to interview them, and Jen is taking off her birthday hat.
The hat did not last long, but it was awesome.
Guys, if you don't watch these on YouTube, you should definitely start.
You should.
This
There's a lot of
episode
I'll
is
put
extra.
this here so that
fun.
YouTube people can see my hat.
Yeah. So yeah, we are here in honor of their birthdays to get to know them a little bit better because they do so well at getting to know everybody that they have on their podcast. And so, yeah, we are super excited and honored to be hosting, right, Eugene?
We are so excited. I think we have a sponsor for the episode.
Yeah,
Guys, believe
who
it or
is
not,
And
we
we're going to
do.
have the guest read it today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're letting
Crazy.
the guests read the
We're
sponsor
switching
this
everything
week.
up.
It's true. Honestly, this is very special. So Matt and Linda Beiler are sponsoring
We
this
love you
episode. And
guys.
honestly, Matt and Linda are probably some of our favorite people in the world.
Parker.
Like no kidding. A little Parker, and they're expecting another baby. So
Man.
yeah.
Are you allowed to say that?
I don't
public?
know.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
All
Well, in
right.
3 weeks it might be.
I'll ask him for sure.
Okay.
I'll ask him for sure. Matt,
Well, if
I
we
hope
are,
and
we're
pray when
excited.
this
We're not
airs.
live.
Testing the waters
If not,
already.
just send him a congratulations, please.
They
So,
retract their
Yeah.
sponsorship.
We have to
longer
pay them.
that was
sponsoring
not
the
in the
episode.
script.
We're paying them.
But yeah, anyway, they have a business called Beiler Premier Roofing down in Florida. They do shingles, they do metal, they do repairs in the Sarasota area. We'll have their phone number there, of course, in the show notes if you ever want. If you need a roof, everybody needs a roof over their head. So get Matt to do
True.
your roof. Get
Even
Matt
if you
to
have one already, get a new
get a
one.
better one.
Double roof it.
Put shingles, metal. Yeah.
Can never be too
Yeah.
safe.
Can
You're
never
right.
have too much roof.
But seriously, Matt and Linda are some of those people, and Eugene and Grace can share too, but like that you like they care for you so well, and they're such genuine friends. I'd follow them into a burning well, maybe not a burning building, but like I'd follow them into about anywhere. So
Yeah.
honestly, big fans of Matt and Linda. Love you guys.
Yeah,
Really
you guys
appreciate
are awesome.
it. So you guys are the best.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Derek. Big rapid fire question
Hey-o.
segment. Are you guys ready?
Jen's
I've never
been
heard
waiting.
of it. Is it a
feel?
news? I've never heard of this segment
goodness.
before.
Jen, come
How
on.
does it feel to be on the opposite side of the table right now?
Guys, I'm pumped.
Are you going to be rapid?
Honestly.
Jen's gonna be the most.
This is the
rapid.
first time we've been on this side, and we're even, for you guys that don't watch, Derek and I always sit on one side of the table, just because we always have, and the guests sit on
how
the
it
other
is.
side. So we're even being legit to where we're sitting on the side of the table that the guests usually sit on. And I'm pumped just to be able to sit here and let them take charge, and yeah, it's exciting. So I'm looking forward to the episode. And maybe even to see how hard it actually is on
Yeah,
the
you're
rapid
going
fire.
into
Right.
it pretty confident,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure.
Jen, before we started recording, she said, I am going to be something rapid. It was an expletive
Yeah.
of some sort.
No, I didn't.
you
Oh,
were
yeah, I did.
pretty confident
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
this
I did.
segment.
So she's very confident about the
Yeah.
rapid nature of her answers. So we'll see.
Maybe
if she
it'll be
can back
harder than what
that
I
up.
think, because I give our guests a hard
Yeah.
time sometimes.
You're
so.
right. You do.
Anyway.
All right, so we're going to ask you guys the same questions. Jen will answer first, then Derek, unless Jen's too slow. Then Derek can
Okay.
chime
I'll
on
be
in.
firing off, Jen.
So yeah,
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Key is don't think, just do. You know.
Let's go.
That was so cheesy.
Top Gun.
All right, here we go. Jen? What is your favorite day of the week?
Monday.
That was
That's a hot
absolutely
take.
That was
speedy.
very good. Probably Friday.
Friday. All right. What place would you most want to travel to?
Europe.
Switzerland.
Whew, I can hardly keep up with you guys right now. If you could be a superhero, what would be your superpower?
Flying.
be
Derek.
strength.
Really? You want to be strong?
Like, yeah, being able to lift anything, move anything.
I thought
Couldn't
I
you
would
do
say
that now?
that, but I already am.
I'm almost.
Okay.
Oh, you can almost do that now. Okay. What is your favorite thing to do on a free Saturday?
Probably go ride my motorcycle.
Yeah,
Good
probably
answer.
Pickleball, chilling.
Great answer.
Absolutely. Great answer. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
About 30 minutes.
Depends how long my shower takes.
Yeah, exactly.
So that could be 15 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
For
I
the
feel
whole
like doesn't
thing.
Derek take long
I'm gonna
showers?
take the over on that one.
I know.
Okay, if you're not taking a shower, though, you can be ready
Oh,
pretty fast. if you
15
like.
minutes.
Yeah, but if you are, don't count on
So guys,
Derek.
I
Give me
don't
an hour and a
include
half.
just real quick. showers are not a part of the getting ready routine.
I agree.
I
Like,
disagree.
Oh, that's so
I
false.
Meaning,
totally disagree.
unless you shower every time you get ready, it's not.
There's
It's
so many times where you're getting ready and not
I
you know
see
what I
what
mean?
you're saying. Just
like,
in general.
Yeah, in general to get ready. Like when
Oh.
you wake up in the morning, like a shower isn't a given. Sometimes you shower the night before. Sometimes you're getting ready in the middle of the day for a wedding. Like the getting ready
But-
to
I
me is
agree.
like getting dressed, combing your hair. If you're a girl doing makeup, whatever,
post-shower.
being ready to go. A shower is not always
But
there.
think
agree.
about it though. We live in a house where us kids share a bathroom, and so your getting ready process includes your shower if you are taking one, and so it's part of your time span getting ready in that bathroom before I can get in there.
Yeah, but
So it is included in your get ready time if,
if
you're
you
going
need to take a
always.
shower.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so
Cool.
30 minutes, 15
30
unless
minutes,
he's
an
taking a
hour, 2
shower.
days,
Got
whatever. It might be
Either
a
way.
lot. Yeah.
Either
All
way.
right. Motorcycle or horse?
Motorcycle.
Horse. OG.
We weren't
Come on,
sure which way
guys.
Jen was going to go on that one.
Yeah, I
She's
do
a
like
cowgirl.
horses, but
Long live cowgirls.
I'd
Morgan
say
Wallen.
I'd
Can't
probably
believe I said
they're a
it.
little more
Don't
easy to
shout out.
maintenance.
I got you.
Maintenance to maintain.
To maintenance.
Okay. Derek?
I said a horse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
He's
said them
right
at the
on
same
it.
time.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
sure. Okay. What has been your favorite age so far?
Oh, 21.
Wow.
Wow. Interesting.
So this year just wasn't really
it's been
his.
a
This year
while.
was terrible.
Jen hasn't had a very good
Actually,
year
sorry,
in a while.
back up. 21 and 16. What? Those are my two
Going
favorite
way
We haven't
back.
had a
years
good year
of my
since
life.
Can you
16
remember
and
back
21.
that far?
And actually, I really messed up. 21 was the terrible year. Sorry,
Oh.
it was 16 was my favorite
Jen
year.
is
Yeah, I messed up.
lying
I really
to the
messed up.
listeners.
That was my rapid fire where it was completely incorrect.
Completely incorrect.
21 was bad.
16.
16 was my favorite year.
Do you want to
Yeah.
like say one reason why?
No.
She's like,
I don't want to say a thing.
Jen, that's bad.
That
That's
leaves a
really
lot to
that
the
leaves so much to the
imagination.
imagination right now.
No, there was a lot of things, but
That I
and,
can't
and you've
say.
had good years since then. It's just that one.
Yeah,
stuck
that was
out.
my favorite
Or has
year.
your life just been
I have so
downhill
many
since
questions.
16?
yeah,
I
it was
have so
good.
many
That was the
questions.
peak, and
Yeah, far
we've
more
been
questions
14
than
years
answers.
ago.
No, I've had great years since then, but I always remember, like, I've thought about it before when people ask me about
Yeah.
a year.
That just
16
comes to your
was,
mind.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
so much more freedom that I had as a 16-year-old, but I still had not many
sure.
responsibilities.
Yeah.
So I had,
a
it was
good
just
time.
a free, and I was in school, and I had a really good friend group, and there were just a lot of things I learned and memories
Jen
I
lived
made.
for high school.
16 was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Derek,
Derek.
your answer?
Honestly, 26, which would actually been the year 2020. I went to Alaska that year. We did an India trip that year. Honestly, 2020 was one of my better years.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna go with 26.
Controversial to most.
Good
but
answer.
I agree.
Me and Derek's 10 years span between the two ages
2020
that we
was
liked.
fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
For
yeah. It was
some
different,
people.
but I was here for it.
Yeah.
Excuse my interjection, but as a 16-year-old in the Miller household, it was a pretty big year as well for all of us. You got like
Yeah.
your license,
Your phone.
you got a car, you got
Yeah.
your phone.
That's true.
You paid
didn't
for
get a
all
car.
of them. Like you had to pay for all of them to get them,
Jen-
but
Jen
you had
didn't pay.
access to
Jen
them
had
starting
it
at
handed
16.
Jen had
to
daddy's
her.
money. Love you, Glenn.
Yeah.
Whoa. Shout out to Glenn Moss.
Same. I had a phone. I got my license.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
a lot
A lot
more
of new,
freedoms,
yeah.
and I did not have to pay for
I
that.
understand that. I understand that.
But yeah, so it was a good year.
All right, here we go. What is your go-to instrument to play for fun?
Do you think I play instruments?
Jen, don't you
Piano,
play something?
piano.
Yeah,
Piano?
yeah.
Yeah.
Give the people what they
You're
want.
right.
Jen
Honestly,
actually is great.
keys.
Jen loves the
Keys.
piano.
Okay.
Honestly, like I'm gonna say bass, just because like for some reason, like with what Eugene has taught me and me playing that, because I actually almost play that more now than I just
Yeah.
do acoustic guitar. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah,
So-
or what you play acoustic guitar and bass,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
And
agree.
Jen plays piano and
And the
Violin.
yes,
Ooh.
ma'am.
No, imagine. Playing is a strong
She
word.
absolutely
Well,
slays
I make
on the
noise on
violin.
it. Yeah.
I
It
make
makes
noise.
noise.
She crushes it.
Nice.
Okay, if you had to change your name, what would you change it to?
Amanda. No, that's not true. But rapid fire.
Don't think, just do.
That's because my
Yeah.
dad wanted to name me that,
Aw.
and mom said no.
Oh,
They didn't
so
agree,
you
and so
want
they
revenge on your mom.
no, they agreed on Jennifer. But I know my
Oh.
dad has always wanted an Amanda.
Aw, so you
He
wanna
still
give it
does.
to
He
him?
wants a granddaughter named Amanda, and so that's why I say Amanda.
no
That's
pressure
sweet.
or anything.
I know.
Derek?
I don't know, like something like kind of like Raphael or something. Like I don't really feel like a Raphael, but that's what I'm going with.
You could be one.
Maybe.
If you wanted to be.
What kind of
It's a good
ethnicity
name.
are you trying to be?
Hey, a white
Go
American
by
Raphael.
Go by
Jesus.
Raph. Like it.
Raph.
All right. How many hours of sleep should you get a night?
8.
I'm 7 to 8 for sure.
Should.
How
not
many
do.
do you
Should.
I thought hot
8.
takes were later.
Okay.
I like that laugh.
Shout out to JB.
We don't support
Shout
him.
out to Justin Bieber. Well, okay. What is your favorite sport to play?
Ooh, man. Right now, volleyball. I mean, that's been my favorite. That's the OG for me.
Hardly play volleyball right now.
Yeah,
more
that's
for that.
that's more. I mean, I have
true.
other sports I like, you know, like
Yeah,
pickleball
yeah,
and
yeah.
spike ball and tennis, but yeah,
What's your favorite
volleyball.
one to play?
Overall, I'm
Feel
with
the
Jen,
most-
volleyball.
Feel the most in your element?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. If you could be transformed into an animal, what would it be?
Oh, one of those cats. The
A lion?
Tiger?
no, they're
Lynx?
kittens. No, they're like
wanna be a
house
cat?
cats. Yeah, it's a
Jen.
Persian cat. Ugh.
You are kidding.
Yeah,
You
someone
wanna
told
be
me
a
one time they
cat?
thought I looked like a Persian cat.
What?
I've embraced it ever since.
Jen,
Are you
oh
kidding?
my, that
Like
is
the Persian cats,
Wow.
they're very like elegant. They're flowy. Well, okay, that's
Eugene just
not a
pulled
good
up
representation.
a picture of a
Elegant,
Persian
flowy.
I don't know
cat.
if the camera can see this,
Jen,
but that's big.
those are pretty
I will
fluffy.
just say for the listeners, not something I would want to be
Not
said.
a
I look like.
compliment.
No, because they're supposed to be
compliment.
more elegant than that.
Okay,
the picture
you
Eugene
like
had.
them just because they're elegant, or why would you want?
Yeah,
to be
because they
one?
literally they're nice and like kind of supposed to be pretty, and they just like chill around the house all day and get what they want.
I hate to break it to you, but that was a roast from that person.
Oh my! Who
Jen,
said
yeah,
that?
I don't
Was
think
it
they
one of
meant it
your
as a
friends?
compliment.
Surprised somebody when I was 16. I thought it was good.
That really
Oh,
just
no.
highlighted. Okay,
Oh, no.
Derek.
I think I'm gonna go with an eagle. I think
That's
an eagle would
great.
be dope.
Good answer.
It's America's bird.
Swooping in,
Come on,
getting
Persian
fish.
cat.
Yeah.
We got a cat and an eagle. Two very different
Me,
vibes.
I'm gonna grab Jen as the cat and just like take her off, like to
No,
my.
you won't get me. I'm never at the house. Out the house.
Oh, wow.
He'll come in.
Yeah, they
and
won't
he'll
let
get
you out.
Wow, I
Man,
almost said
okay.
something there.
Persian cat was not what I was expecting. Okay, what's your ideal outdoor temperature? Or also,
Humidity
how
level.
do we
Okay.
feel about
Yeah.
humidity? Because I
Oh,
know you
please.
guys have some,
Probably about 85 and maybe like 100% humidity.
Oh, please.
literally
sweating just
the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Especially at night, 85 degrees and sweating in the night is amazing.
I kind of don't want to be on this podcast anymore. I've only met one
just love
person or heard was when Little and Jen,
Jen.
were on the
Jen
on the
Beiler.
podcast, and she actually agreed.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
anyway.
it's-
I
That's crazy.
love the heat. I
man.
complain about it sometimes, like because obviously when you're going to
'Cause it's terrible?
when you're going to a wedding or you're dressed up and you don't want to be sweating. Obviously, it's not comfortable. But as far as my enjoyment, when I can just be outside and not be like going somewhere like
Yeah.
that, oh man, it just feels so nice. Feels so nice. Anyway,
Fair enough.
Derek.
60, probably 65. 60
Yeah.
to 65.
Oof.
That's
Thank you for the
ideal.
redemption
and
answer.
zero
Ooh.
humidity.
Zero
Fall
humidity.
weather.
Yes.
Zero humidity.
Negative humidity.
Like, actually
Spoken like
negative,
a
where it
true
like
You need to live
sucks
in
the water
different
off your
countries.
body or something.
Yep, like
yeah.
you need to be applying
Negative humidity.
lotion.
Yeah, negative humidity is
24/7.
ideal.
Yeah.
Humidity is
you
good for
almost
your
need
skin,
to
but-
pour water on yourself because you're so anti-sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
skincare.
Very different answers there. What's the fastest speed you've driven in a car or a motorcycle?
Oh,
105.
Jen. Wow.
105?
Is that all?
Yeah, I ain't trying to die.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I think
105.
I've
About
hit
105.
on both?
Both.
Okay.
I haven't done anything other than a car. I maybe hit 110.
In a car?
Yeah.
We're the
car.
same,
My
Derek.
Kia.
Your Kia?
Yeah.
Your
I mean,
Kia can
I've
go
hit
that
100.
fast?
Most
Oh yeah.
cars can go.
I mean,
Oh.
I can.
Derek
I can
was like,
like,
that's all, Jen?
I don't think
Me,
my car-
110.
Hey,
I don't
but
think
I don't
my
have a
car could go that
motorcycle,
fast.
so yeah.
Well, my motorcycle also
think-
doesn't go much faster than that.
yeah.
I hit 105 on my bike and I was shaking
Yeah.
pretty bad.
That's
It's
You
not-
or the motorcycle?
Well, we both were. It was a lot of
Shaking in
shaking
your
going
boots.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What is one of your biggest fears?
Man, I don't really have any. I mean, like,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like things that I'm actually scared. You know what I'm kind of scared of, honestly?
What?
One of my biggest fears is stepping on a slug.
Ooh.
I just,
like barefoot,
Especially-
right?
especially
Barefoot.
and I've
What?
done it.
I
Like when you
have
step on
never
a
thought
slug.
about
Oh, no.
stepping on
I've
a slug.
touched one with my skin
Yeah.
accidentally, and it's
Ugh.
the worst. I'm
Like
with you on
I don't
that.
love snakes. I don't love spiders. Whatever. I'm like
Yeah.
at this point in my life, I've gotten so used to seeing it. I'm like whatever. But
yeah.
a slug,
When do you
and
ever
you
come
step
in
on,
contact
I
with a
almost like I
slug?
want to throw. It's hard for me to handle
It
that.
gives you the ick.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Big ick.
So I don't
It's
like
icky.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, Derek.
I agree.
Probably like having to go through like a big dark building and like clear a room, like in a dangerous
Clear a room?
scenario, like where like it's a dangerous scenario and you got to go through like dark rooms in a building and like make sure nobody's there.
Oh,
and knowing
like
that
you never
someone
know that somebody's gonna
like you're
pop
looking
out.
for somebody and they're like gonna try to kill you.
Oh, that would be terrifying.
Like,
Is this like a valid? Like, is this have this happened to you?
I was gonna
Like,
say,
who hurt you?
How based in reality is this
okay, but
fear?
think about
I know.
any movie you watch when they're like,
Like-
going
Watches
through the
SWAT.
rooms and all of a sudden somebody, bam, has a gun.
Even just like at church, like if it's all dark and you're going through rooms, you're just like clear,
Okay.
clear.
Not
I just
gonna
go
lie,
clear.
I have been at church when nobody else
Yep.
is there. terrifying.
It's-
Like I love church, but being there alone in the dark, scary
I have
stuff.
to be like, God, I know you're with me, because otherwise I'm peeing myself right now. So it's
Go
like,
straight to the altar.
yeah,
Where
you're
it
right.
depends.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
But Jen,
Okay. What is something you would eat for 1 week straight?
Mashed potatoes.
Fuji.
Figured it was gonna
Get it,
Yes!
Nelson Painter.
Columbus.
Eat it, Nelson
Yes.
Painter.
Yes, and all the other Fuji haters that are
Fuji.
Jen, you
out
like
of touch
Fuji.
with
Not for a
reality.
week.
Oh,
Not for a
absolutely. I
week.
could eat that every
I
day
do
for
like
a
Twice a
week.
day
Fuji.
for a week.
Yeah.
You could eat mashed potatoes every day. That's the only thing you would
Breakfast.
eat.
Well, I was
That's
only
heavy.
given one option, so mashed potatoes.
You're right.
Oh.
All right. Fair enough.
I love mashed potatoes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at keeping secrets?
Maybe about an 8.
Okay. Good answer.
And move on.
Excuse me, have I ever blown one of your secrets? You've never told me any.
I'm
Eugene.
giving 9.5.
9.5. Yeah. You guys are both trustworthy. I can.
Yeah, I'm not
Tell you
perfect. I like to talk, and so sometimes I
Yeah,
forget what I
same.
said I wouldn't talk about.
Yeah.
So that's why
Or
it's
you
an
forget
8.
if somebody says not to tell
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah, exactly.
That's kind of, yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, you told me not to tell anybody?
Like,
What?
oh, you didn't
Oh, that
tell
was
me that, did you?
private? What?
Okay, coming on the whole stretch. Would you rather be a passenger or driver on a road trip?
Passenger.
Driver.
Okay. Okay. Socks or bare feet
Oh.
to sleep?
You know what?
Just had to
Had to
Let
include
me think
these.
about
Jen,
this.
be
one.
rapid.
See, Jen, I feel like you
Please
wouldn't
be
really have an
rapid.
opinion on this, you know?
Socks.
Yeah.
Bare feet.
Okay. Love to hear it.
Yep.
And lastly, toilet paper. Under or over?
It's crazy you asked this question because I was just thinking about it the other
came
day.
up with it all by myself.
Wow.
Definitely over the top.
Sure. Let's go over. We'll go with over.
Yep.
Okay. And one more. What is your
Oh.
biggest pet peeve?
About people?
Surprise.
Oh, that's a
Just
good one.
biggest pet peeve.
It doesn't have to be about people. It could be
I
about
found
life.
a new one today.
Well, I have a lot of them, but it is chewing.
Yes.
Chewing
Ooh,
people's.
that's-
100%.
Yep, people eating food a certain way. I am
Yeah.
pretty much out the door.
Interesting.
Or
Yep.
crunching on chips with their lips open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
By who?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay. Derek?
Yeah, chewing,
That was
chewing
me.
and
I
eating.
try to be intentional with that.
No,
Yeah.
sorry. I
wasn't-
was asking you to answer.
I was like, are you calling me out, Grace?
I wasn't calling you
Grace
out.
is like
well,
calling me out big
He's,
time.
he's better now.
Yeah.
He's better
Sorry,
now.
Derek. What's your answer?
Boy, I don't know if I even know.
Come on.
Uh
Oh, I know. I mean, I know one that
Do
ticks you
you?
off is when people won't like receive a gift you're trying to give them.
oh.
That makes you mad.
I mean, like ungratefulness is like that's the ick. Like literally, I'll probably never do anything for you again. Like it's literally terrible.
Biggest pet
He's
peeve
putting
is
that with
being
slugs.
ungrateful.
Honestly, like it's
Slugs and
very,
ungratefulness.
it's very bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty
You're right.
distasteful.
It's
yeah.
very
It's like the
distasteful.
easiest thing to do is be grateful, and if you can't even find it in your heart to do it,
yeah, for
red
sure.
flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
people that think they're all that in a bag of chips and they're not. So
Oh, I have one other one though
Mm-hmm.
that it really does grind me, but it's only with sports. It's whenever I probably shouldn't say because we've all played sports together and you've all done it at some point. But it's whenever the opposing team says like tries to compliment you on like something when you mess up. Like if you do a bad play and they're like, "Oh, that was close, good job." Like the opposing team.
oh, I mean that's me all the time, Jen.
Sportsmanship.
yeah.
You don't
No,
like
the
sportsmanship.
other team to
Yeah, I
you
know.
when you
They're
and
trying to
they
encourage
get the
you.
point
Yeah.
and then they try to compliment you,
Yeah.
Oh.
or if afterwards they're like, "Hey, that was a good try, you almost won," like stuff like that. I'm like, you know what, we can just we don't need to do that.
So you'd
No
rather
talk.
they come and rub it in your face?
No,
that
I'd rather they
beat
don't
you?
say
Just be
anything.
quiet.
Like sometimes they try to overcompensate. Like when you're, especially if you're playing somebody who's clearly better than you and they feel bad for you.
Yeah.
And so they
Yes.
constantly
Yes.
make these comments
Good
of
try.
like, they're
Good
like,
try.
"Hey, that was out, but it was almost in. Like you're getting better, you're getting there."
Jen,
I'm
you
just
can
like,
tell me that's
if
what
you're-
I do because
if-
that's literally what I do all the time.
your
Jen. You can
teammate
be
does
honest.
it,
but not just you. There's a lot of people. That do
But
that.
I do it a lot.
it's mainly when the other. If your teammate does it, you don't care.
My teammate to
That's
me is
different.
like that's the encouragement,
Yeah,
but like it's
you need
sometimes the
that.
opposing team because already you know you lost the point, and it's like, and then it almost feels passive
Feels like
aggressive
they're
because they're
kicking you.
like,
It's like,
they're
"Aw,
like,
good
they're
try."
like, better luck next time.
You're like, I'm gonna punch you.
I'm like, you don't have to say anything. You're on the opposite team. You know,
Yeah.
that's a pet peeve
So
of mine
there's
too.
no like mutual respect among athletes. Like you're saying, if you're not on the same level playing field, I'm just really unpacking
we're
this.
done.
right
At the
I feel
end of
like
the
we're done
game,
with this.
the end of a game,
Yeah.
whenever you go through and say high fives, good job, that's
Yeah.
fine. But it's throughout plays of games that are happening that you could just not say anything. Like that it's almost more passive aggressive to compliment their mistakes. Like they're messing
Yeah.
up and you're like, "Oh, good try." It's like that's your partner's
It's like,
job.
obviously they didn't
It's
try
not-
to mess up, and so it's
Yeah.
like
and honestly, they should be happy you messed up. They just got the point. They shouldn't be. So that compliment almost feels like a backhanded compliment. Like, I'm really glad you messed up.
Wow.
And I think, okay,
But
if
you
they're
messed up.
actually teaching you and they're your teacher, then yes. But if you're just playing a game,
Yeah.
it's irrelevant to you.
Anyway, I probably should have
There's
brought
different
that
ways
up
to
because it
take
feels
that.
like it's confusing. But
Anyways.
anyway, I love good teamwork. if
All right, Eugene's going to start us off.
So I guess don't say anything to Jen on the court.
you're on
or
my, not
anything
on my team.
positive.
Nothing positive.
Nothing positive,
All right,
please.
guys.
Negative
Noted.
Nancy.
Know her heart.
I will discontinue those positive
I
comments.
understand what
knows
she's
my
saying.
heart.
I understand what she's
I know.
saying.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
different people take that stuff different ways, and if you take it that way, that's
If
completely
you
fine.
take it terribly, that's fine.
I respect that. No more compliments for Jen.
Okay. Moving on.
I feel like that was a hot take, and it was literally just not that.
We wove some hot takes into the rapid fire. Love that. Really jumping all over the place. So, a couple of questions just like to the individual here. We'll go back and forth, starting with Derek. Tell us about your relationship with your siblings. And this is weird because two of them are sitting next across from you. But tell us about your relationship with your siblings and how that has changed over the last 3 decades, like kind of the different eras and how your relationship was as the oldest brother. You know, from when you were 10 to 20 to now almost 30.
Sure. Yeah, it's been wild, honestly, because we've traveled and experienced so much together in that regard. It's been really cool. It was interesting when I saw that question. I was thinking about it, and there's been like different stages of like our siblings, a lot of different stages, and kind of I was thinking back to earlier on. I don't know how old we were. If I was like 10 and Kyle would have been like like 4 or 5 or 6. Me and him were really close. Like me and him were like good buds. And then like Eugene kind of grew up some more too. And then like all 3 of us. And there was a stage where I remember this. This is something that I actually really appreciate. There was a stage in our travels when I was like early teens and Eugene and Kyle were a little bit younger where I felt like I could be the most myself, like completely free to just say whatever came to my mind or like be complete with Eugene and Kyle. Like and like it's good now too, but like when we would like interact with people and you kind of felt these pressures, like I felt like if I was with Eugene and Kyle, I could literally just live life like to the fullest.
That's the sweetest thing ever.
So
If only if it was still like
I
that.
know, like I'm trying to relive the days of old.
Back when I was 26, the good year.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was just something that like I thought back to, and it was a really like good time in our relationship, and I love our relationship now. But it was just something that I distinctly remember, like of all the people I could like really be myself with, it was them. So yeah. So it was it's been pretty crazy. That and just there's so much I could say. I think just a couple of the main things, even just me and Deborah's relationship growing up, all we did together, we went to Thailand together. We did children's retreats together. We went to Africa. We learned how to teach children's classes
Yeah, you guys
together.
went to like a whole school for that or
A
whatever
whole
it was
thing
called.
In the Gap, where it was like a week long where they would do after school programs, and we took that training and then used that in our Sunday school classes and everything.
Yeah.
As,
Derek and Deborah used to do children's classes in our services and absolutely crushed it. They were so good at doing that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate
that's
it.
good.
That honestly gave us a lot of confidence in what we did, and I think the adults were as entertained as the kids. So hopefully, it was. It was good. But now, kind of where life's at, honestly, it's super fun. Just because as we all grow older and are in our different stages, we kind of have individual things going on. But then when we come together for like the Oasis Youth Conference, we got to do worship together we could do LBS together, we do Indiana Prairie Camp together. Honestly, like doing that as adults is pretty special. So I think I wish everybody got the chance to like be an adult with your siblings, like before everybody gets married, because honestly, it's like a ton of fun. So it's been a journey, but it's been a good one. And then me and Grace were just in Kansas partying for a wedding, and it was
we just went to Kansas to party.
Yeah, just a party.
Yeah.
We're big wild partiers.
No.
So
They went and got married
Austin
in
and
Kansas.
Tanisha.
Austin and Tanisha,
We love you guys.
newly married. So it was honestly a good time. So since Deborah's moved out, me and Grace, I think, have gotten closer too, just in our conversations and everything. So,
Yeah. You're a great oldest brother, for sure. You've done a great job. He basically raised me, but now we're friends. So it's a full circle moment.
Full
you know?
circle. Thanks,
Yeah.
G.
Okay, Jen, first question. What would your teachers and adult relatives have described you as a child?
So there's this teacher that I had, and every year in our yearbooks, okay, you guys have yearbooks? Y'all were homeschooled?
It was just our family photo album.
Yeah, I was gonna say our Christmas card.
So in our yearbook, every year the teacher would give one word to describe each student.
Oh boy.
And that was like kind of a big deal. At the end of the year,
Crazy.
you would go get your yearbook.
How do you
and,
come up with that many different words?
Yeah, there was about 25 students. So
never mind.
like, yeah.
Did some of you get the same
In the
words?
high school.
Oh,
No, no.
Okay.
Almost as
Everybody.
many as we
Sorry,
had.
it was a word or a phrase. Basically, the teacher came up with to kind of describe
Phrase.
that person. That way, everyone looking at it could be like, oh, just a little phrase that he got over the year, right? So every year you were like, oh, what are they going to say about me? Like, it's kind of like, it's always supposed to be complimentary, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like pretty impressionable. I'm like, 14, maybe 13. I get that yearbook the one year. I go open up to my picture. and underneath my cute little smiling face is the word, you won't probably even know what it means, loquacious.
What?
Mom knows what it is. What?
That is
world
the
is
word.
loquacious
I said
mean?
the same thing, and I panicked because I was like, I don't know what he's saying
What
about
is he
me.
calling me?
It means talkative. That's what it means. But
Wow.
not
Tending to talk a great deal.
A great deal.
I'd say she nailed it.
So anyway, that's
that's a
all
good
pretty much what I
thing.
want to say about. I mean, there's obviously tons of things that you could say what people would have said
Loquacious.
about me, but that came
Yeah.
to my mind because I remember, and I was offended at the moment because I was like, all the things like. And he was meaning in a good way, like,
Yeah.
oh, she likes to talk. I took it as like other people
All
were
she
getting
does
like
is-
kind-hearted to their friends and like great at sports. And I'm like,
Lovely.
loquacious.
Loquacious. Oh,
That's what you get
Hey,
out
at
of.
least he's
Jen.
used a cool word for
You're
it and
funny.
didn't just say talkative.
Anyway, and I also we didn't put much. Look, synonyms for talkative. That's what he looked up. But anyway, shout out Keith Yoder.
Putting him on blast.
boy.
He won't probably listen to. Well, actually, he's my uncle too. So.
Oh,
Wow.
love
In
you,
the
Keith.
family.
Hey,
wow.
Keith meant well.
Yeah, he did.
meant
So
well.
anyway,
That's hilarious.
So yeah, people would definitely describe. I liked to talk, as I still do, and I liked to be in charge of things. And
You're very smart in school, right?
You
said?
that was fine.
Maybe not.
I was smart. I did okay. But yeah,
pretty good.
so that's probably some of the main things that they would have said. I like to talk. I like to be in charge of things and make things happen.
Wow.
So
Well, and we're
Good.
seeing that today.
That's
You're
good
already
stuff.
walking in your giftings.
Absolutely. Early
Yeah.
on.
Things
just
happen.
maybe not always using like. No,
Well,
they weren't always used in the proper
who
way.
has their gifts worked out properly
You're
from the
preaching to
beginning?
the choir here, for
like
sure.
when
100%.
when you're 12, when you're
Yes.
called a leader and as an adult, as 12-year-olds, you're called bossy
Yeah.
That's
or,
very
or
true.
Like
Or like-
annoying.
well,
or
listen.
loud
flirty
or
or
No, I never got called that.
Eugene's like, no.
well, meaning like because you're happy, you
Yeah.
talk to everybody, you're
Right,
pretty
you're not
outgoing,
afraid to talk to
and all the
them.
other girls were like, "Why are you flirting with my guy?" And I'm like, "I don't
My
even know.
guy.
I don't even.
I'm not
I'm
trying
not
to get
doing
up
that.
your man. Yeah, you're right.
Why are you a 12-year-old? Why are you flirting
Why
with
are
my
you flirting
guy?
with my guy?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
funny.
Anything else you had on that one, Jen?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Cool.
Good stuff.
That was very informative.
Yeah.
Derek, how many languages have you learned at least in small parts?
I believe it's 6. And
What?
Hold
Wait
on.
a minute.
Wait a minute.
All right. Can we have a hot take segment?
in small parts.
He knows one
I know
word
one
in
word
6
in
languages.
several
Please
languages.
list them and
That
say
ain't-
a word or
that
two.
ain't
Hey,
fair.
I really did you a solid one here. I'm gonna say what I know, and then I'm gonna say a phrase or a language in a word in each.
Oh, help
Say a
me.
language in each.
I'm gonna say a language in each word.
Okay.
As you read it,
All right, hit us with it.
Well, English, obviously.
do you know it by memory?
Dutch, kannst du mich verstehen? You're
Ja, ik
welcome.
kan.
That's good.
Spanish,
can't.
La Casa Grande,
Big house.
El Avión, airplane.
Yep.
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 There you go. You're
Homeschool
welcome.
curriculum.
Classic.
Homeschool.
Yep.
Yep.
Classic. And then I know a little bit of Thai.
Yes,
like
sir.
just like Kap Kun Kap, which is thank you.
Only he knew what it meant.
Cop,
no,
cop means
See,
put
we
a
have no way
cap
to
on your
check him
head.
this. We just have to say okay.
No,
no,
Derek,
no.
I do remember
You
you
know,
learning that,
it's-
but I don't remember what it means.
I know. Kap Kun Kap is thank you. And
Okay.
then there's guys and girls. Kap Kun Ka is a girl. Kap Kun
You have
Kap.
to say it different for a
You
boy
do.
and a girl.
It's tonal.
What
It's
the
ridiculous.
world?
So I'm like, a lot of languages are like that.
Bless you. Swahili, Jumbo Habariako.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, how you
I've
doing?
heard
Shout out to-
Jumbo.
Shout out to Dennis
Bariako.
Mullet. Jumbo
Yeah, that's
Bariako.
his favorite line.
I know a little bit of Lugandan, which is the official language of Uganda.
We know songs in Luganda.
This one,
Should we
yeah,
sing
we
a
do.
song?
Oh, break out in song.
No,
Give me a
we're
line.
done.
This
We're good.
one, Webele Okufumba, which is thank
Thank
you
you.
for cooking for us.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Did you say that a lot?
Yes.
Webele,
Always-
Derek's favorite
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So that was 6.
Wow.
What about
We love a-
Pilafig Lalafat
Oh, for
Derek?
My
7.
word.
Pig Latin.
Yeah.
Derek is a
Hello,
bilingual king.
Halafau,
Bilingual.
Alafau,
He's like
Ulafu.
2 different types.
Octolingual.
That's true.
Oh yeah, bilingual is only two.
Man.
That's 2.
Mr.
I
8
thought-
languages
For
over
some reason,
here.
I was
He's
thinking
bilingual
it's
times
one or
3.
more.
Yeah.
but,
So,
you know.
yeah, there it is.
Great work, Derek.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I
Very
was
impressive.
expecting like 3, not 6.
Well, when I started thinking about it, I was like, in
That's
small part, I know
insane.
many.
yeah, no, it's
Why
great.
am I really impressed with you right now,
Yeah,
Derek?
Thanks, Jen.
honestly, Derek's a man, many talents.
I can say thanks for cooking for us. That's yeah.
Well, you won't ever say it to me.
I would eat.
Meaning I don't know how to cook.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that
So
you're
you're gonna
never
cook him
for
dinner or what?
Well, no, that's
well,
what
I'm
you're
probably
saying.
not.
Okay, question.
Never
next
know where life may take
next
you.
question. Next.
I was gonna say I wouldn't eat Jen's cooking if I was starving. So, Jen, I'm kidding. Jen,
Wow,
Jen,
you can't fist bump me. No one can see that.
I am stressed.
I'm about to
Except for
pull a
them.
Reagan Rop on you. Oh,
Oh.
Jen,
Anyway,
Jen,
no,
I'm kidding. I
you
would
can
eat-
tell we've been podcasting
We
for
are
over a
getting
year.
nowhere.
Things are
All right,
getting
keep it
Next
going.
question,
real.
Jen.
Yes, ma'am.
You have All right, tell us
love
a
being
little
on
bit
this side of the
about some different states and countries you've traveled to and you have also lived in. You have been around the globe.
Your girl gets around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mainly you've lived in a lot of different places.
I'll just do it real quick and brief. I have lived, and if by lived you mean you had a job at a place, an apartment, okay?
You moved your stuff.
Yeah, I moved my stuff. So I lived in, obviously, Maryland for a long time, and then I lived in Florida for just a short time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Detweilers. Shout out.
Did?
What?
Yeah,
When?
I ran their ice cream station. It was, I don't know when it was. Back in the weekday.
When you were 16?
I think I was 22.
Oh, okay.
And then I lived in California, in San Diego, and I lived in Fresno for a while too, a different part of California.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then I moved to North Carolina, which is where I currently live. So those places where I called home first period of time. And then travel-wise, which I feel like I haven't done a lot of traveling, but I did go to Haiti, El Salvador, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, Ireland, Canada.
You said you don't travel much?
And the Bahamas.
That was a million countries.
No, I mean, it was like a few. A lot that I haven't gone to yet. But those places I've been to, and it's been years since I've been out of the country.
Get out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And a lot of the countries I've been to were the third world countries, which is not a bad thing, but it definitely opened your eyes to a lot of different
Was that
parts
your
of the world.
16-year-old year when you did most of that traveling? Or
No, I didn't do that.
okay,
Is that the year we can't
16-year-old,
talk
I
about?
barely went to
It's
Lancaster.
21 when you visit all the third world countries.
Yeah.
so
Is that why your year was rough?
Whoa.
No. So I love traveling. I wish I could do more of it. And obviously, when I lived in California, I drove from Maryland to San Diego.
Oh, no.
And then I drove back.
Yeah, that's insane.
About
you drove
9
by
months
yourself.
later, and then I drove back out again and back again. So on those trips, I stopped at a lot of different states on the way. So in the U.S., I haven't been to all 50 states for sure,
So
but
did
I
that
have
take
been.
you,
I've been to Hawaii.
Like 2 weeks one way each time, or how long did it
So
take you?
the first time I went out, I made it coming back, I made it in 3 days, 40 hours.
And that's probably like
Solo.
pretty straight through, almost like.
Yeah.
That
you
was
did
like
all those by
that was like
yourself.
stopping and sleeping in my car like here and there, and then keep up and going because I was in a
amazing.
rush to get back. But then the one trip I took 2 weeks intentionally
Okay.
to do a west trip solo. I did it by myself.
That's very.
Went to the Grand
Very cool.
Canyon alone,
Wow.
hiked it.
That's so cool.
Conquered it.
It was very fun. So I wish I could do more of that now, but I'm glad I did it then. And with that, I would just tell people like when you have the chance to go travel when you're younger and stuff, especially like even by yourself, like if you want to go on a road trip but don't have anybody to go with you,
Go.
like you make
driving.
incredible memories by yourself. And yeah, it's fun with a person for sure, but there's cool things that happen when you go by yourself and the people that you meet when you're riding solo.
Yeah, you're kind of
You
almost
run
looking
into-
for people to talk to, probably. Even.
And sometimes other people are too. And you could end up being out to eat by yourself and you run into somebody and you end up like hanging out with them for the evening
Yeah.
or like hiking with another person because you meet them. And
True.
I don't know, there's actually cool things that you are pushed to do when you travel alone that you wouldn't do with another person.
Yeah.
And if you get a chance to move somewhere new, do that too, because the things that it'll put in you and stretch in you. When I moved to California, I didn't know one person and didn't know what I was doing. And that was an incredible experience. So
You want to say what you were doing in California?
I nannied for a military family out there, and I also didn't like kids at the time, so I don't know what took me
Moved to
there.
a place we didn't know anybody.
Kids probably
And
didn't like
Didn't
you
like
either.
kids and didn't want
They
to
loved
didn't know
you.
anybody. Yeah, he did. It was just one little boy, and
you
so
would go
I
hiking with him on your back.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
Super
took him to Hawaii with his mom, and me went, and I hiked with him from my hotel room up a dormant volcano and back down.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was fun. So anyway, so yeah, I need to get out again. Time to move again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't put a price on traveling,
Yeah,
honestly.
for
I mean,
sure.
you can, but the value of it
The
is
money
crazy.
spent in
It's
that
bigger
and the
than
time spent in that. If you're
Yeah.
gonna
For
put money
memories.
into something, do it into travel
It's
and
worth it.
memories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good word. Derek, kind of a two-parter here. Have you always homeschooled? And if not, who were your teachers and classmates, and do you ever see them today?
good question. I homeschooled all but kindergarten. So all but kindergarten. So I went to Gospel Haven Academy, shout out in Ohio. for
Yeah.
GHA, baby. I still remember my teacher. Her name was Miss Beachy. No idea where she's at
What's her
today.
first name?
No idea. It was Miss
Beachy.
Beachy.
Miss.
So it's beachy.
Miss Beachy.
Well.
But
Oh.
honestly, I still have
Cracks
some
me up.
friends from back then, like Jordan, Colby, different of my classmates that like I still know today. Like I don't.
You'll
hang
meet
out.
up with them every now and then, won't you?
Yeah,
Or
we'll
not?
have breakfast at Boyd and Worthman. They're in Berlin. So
It's your classic squad.
classic squad, OG squad. So it was a good. I have a lot of memories from that, honestly. So yeah, that's So
Very cool. Jen, is there a sport or two that you have taken the time to get good enough at that you played in some tournaments and stuff? And if so, do you know how many tournaments you've won?
Ooh.
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Black Ice, where you at?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Give people your,
pull them out of the
sport
archives.
history
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. How many times have you entered Pinecraft, and how many
Let them
times
know that
have
you
come
are
out
the GOAT.
victorious?
I don't like that question because the ratio or the percentage of wins to
Of your
We don't
play
need to
is
talk
very
about the
bad.
ratio.
But
I'd like to hear about the ratio.
One time.
Answer
What?
however.
You've won it once.
Yeah, Pinecraft, me and my team, Black Ice, we won. We were in the finals twice, but we won it
We're talking
once.
about volleyball.
Okay,
Oh,
so
sorry,
Jen's-
yeah.
So you're 50%.
honestly,
Okay, answer the
That's not
first.
bad.
Well-
But
have
we
you
played like
Oh,
for
no.
10 years.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, tell us sports that
Yeah.
you've like played
So
tournaments
the sports that I like to play that I played competitively like from in high school and then also some out was volleyball and ping pong. Those are
in.
my
Don't forget
sports.
about our one spike ball
and then
tournament. we
spike
played.
More recently I've taken up professional spike ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so ping pong
Spikes
I played in
McGee.
high school, and we had a student convention we went to every year. And at that convention, you could enter into up to 150 events. There were 150 events to choose from. You could enter 6 of those.
hold it.
So it was sports, it was academics, it was
Curling.
plays, it was singing, it was all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
oh,
So
wow.
many events. Pictures, knitting. I did not enter that.
Should have.
But then
You entered ping pong.
so I entered ping pong for that. Yeah. And
you do?
I did good. I practiced and I played a lot of ping pong. Big defensive player.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I went to our regional convention, which is just the smaller one. And I won, and you have to place in that top 6 to go to the international convention, which they host at a college campus.
Okay.
And they bring people in from all over the world that are in the curriculum you're doing. So we had
cool.
people from
That's really
Japan,
cool.
Africa.
That's insane.
I mean, it was like, you're talking
For ping
thousands and
pong.
thousands of kids that come into this convention.
would've
And
thought?
ping pong's one sport of
I
the
gotcha.
of the
Out of
tons.
a
And you were
million.
saying how
So
you did.
I placed first my last year
Ooh.
in the regional student
Regionals,
convention. Went to
okay.
the international, and I placed first there.
What?
So yeah, I know.
Jennifer Moss.
Who
You
knew?
should be playing some
So I
ping
played.
pong.
Japan?
I played a Korean
What? And
in
you
the
beat 'em?
semifinals, and the finals.
Is it
was
girls and
Japan.
guys or both?
I was going to say Korea and Japan.
Yeah,
good
they're
luck.
good little nuggets. They were like,
I don't think you
well,
said
sorry,
that.
sorry, it's a
Don't
loving
say,
term.
don't say little. Oh my word! I can't believe she just said that.
And canceled.
And done.
I meant like they were
Well,
young.
interview podcast.
Guess this is your last ever episode.
Jen.
It was a good run.
All right.
Enjoy it while it
I'm
lasts.
taking applications for a new host.
Anyway.
Moving on before Jen says something else.
Anyway, but yeah, so it was
crazy.
very, very fun. Like it was the most excited I've ever been for a sport, even more than volleyball, because
Wow.
the hype of that, and it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
you.
It's just you.
It's you and them, and my parents were there, watching, and it was just this big deal. And so so I won
cool.
that, and everything else, like in that whole convention, I don't think I placed in any other of the events because there's so much
You went all
competition.
in on
But
that.
that
Ping pong's
was
just
the
too
one.
easy for
That's
you.
amazing, Jen.
And so ping pong was something that I did a lot. I need to take your dad on in ping pong.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
key.
you
guys
haven't
need
played
to go.
Dave yet?
No.
Oh, you need
But I've
to.
lost some of my skills since then. Also, I was
wonder.
playing against, 15-year-olds. So I was also 15. But
I
yeah.
was like, well, okay.
Anyway, so yeah, that and then volleyball is something that I played since I was little, and it was a sport
You still
that,
play it today?
Yeah.
Yeah, in tournaments and
yeah,
stuff.
sometimes.
Cool.
So that was something me and my brother kind of connected on and played. And back when we were growing up in our teens, we played almost every other weekend
Wow.
in tournaments. And so
Well,
that
you
was
grew-
fun.
You grew up in Accident, Maryland, so there was nothing else to do. So
Yep.
Jeremy and
lots
Jen
of drills.
were the dynamic duo of volleyball
Yeah.
back in the day.
That's probably one of my favorite memories just in general of growing up was being able to play volleyball with my brother. I didn't realize it even at the time as much as I do now how much like that brought us together and bonded us, and like we worked through a lot of relational things through that because you just
Yeah.
have to when you're doing
Yep.
stuff together. So
We know a
playing
little bit
volleyball
about
was
that,
yeah, you guys do the travels
Yeah.
together and have
Yeah.
to do music together. So I really appreciate those times. And my brother was very, very good at volleyball. I'll give him that.
He
and
was.
Yeah.
he helped me get to where I was, and we won a lot of tournaments together, and it was fun.
Yeah, it's too easy for the
But the
Moss.
people that I met and the connections made and the like memories made were like way more important than
Yeah.
any of the wins.
Mhm.
So I'm not winning a whole lot these days,
Yes,
but I'm
you
having a
are.
good time.
Have
Jen,
you
you're
won
still-
like
Jen, you're
every
still getting
tournament you
them
played
dubs.
in the past little while?
Yeah,
You don't
one.
play in that many.
Jen knows what teams to get on. I
I'm,
mean, you
I'm
do
at
great
the
as
age
well.
now where I'm like, don't make me run too much. Like, put me in the middle and let me just set the ball up
Set the
and
ball
like,
up.
Too easy.
let's see what happens.
Still
So
No,
it is
Jen.
fun. I still like playing. So
Yeah.
those two would be my favorites.
Very
Probably.
cool.
Derek, did you play organized sports growing up?
I started off the old career with coaches pitch baseball.
Yes,
that
sir.
was for a
I
hot
remember
minute.
that.
Did I?
Oh, yeah.
Not that with you, but I know what
okay. I was
coach's
gonna
pitch
say
base
Jen.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
that and then like Pee Wee football. I did soccer like 1 year, and then basketball was the main one though. So basketball was like kind of my first love sport growing up, and then volleyball was way later, and then like tennis and pickleball now and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
so
And you still play basketball like every week with guys from around here, right?
when I'm home I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Enjoy that. So
Fun
yeah,
times.
good times.
Derek's an athlete.
He is.
Thanks, Jen.
Derek will randomly just like be good at everything. Not randomly. You're
everything?
just good at stuff.
We played pickleball the other night, and he did not lose one time.
That
didn't.
With
thank
multiple
you,
partners.
but that's rare.
And
That
I did
doesn't-
not win one
That was
time.
not rare.
No. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
happen that often. But thank
He's
you.
just smart.
Appreciate it.
Smart at
Receive this
sports.
gift.
Yeah,
And
of
if he,
take
makes
the
a
compliment.
bad,
gift,
if he makes a bad play, Derek, don't
Derek-
get cute.
Derek
You're getting
Gabriel.
cute. Stop
Trying to
getting
get cute. It
Never
doesn't
heard
work.
somebody
Getting
beat
cute
up
doesn't
them-
work.
Never heard
Calls
somebody
himself out for trying to be
beat
cute.
up themselves more than Derek
Derek,
Miller.
stop being so cute.
Oh what? Oh.
I think-
Sorry, can't do that, Jen.
Whoa! The pickup line segment.
Context.
Hey, Jen, pickup lines.
Pickup lines
Context.
is later, Jen.
All right. Okay.
Anyways, switching gears a little bit.
All right.
Sorry, we'll bring it down.
Yeah.
Jen, we all know life happens to us all.
Yeah.
We develop different like lies and things that we all experience in our life. Would you be able to share like some specific things that you know or God has revealed to you that you believe about yourself, lies or filters that you think stuff through, whatever, that God's revealed to you, and how have you like come free from some of that, or are you on a journey with that, or just some things that you can share with people, maybe help them in their journey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that for me personally, the biggest thing that there's a lot of things, but the biggest thing that God has been working on me and is the lie that that I believed growing up, that the value that I had to bring was kind of based in my performance and what I could offer people, and that was how growing up I didn't realize what I was doing, and it kind of entered into my adult life to where I felt like I needed to make sure that I did things for people, was there for people, performed well with what they needed me to do, filled their needs, because by doing that, then I would have value in their eyes and be worthy of their friendship, of their affection, of getting something in return. You know, I didn't feel if someone ever did anything for me or gave anything to me, I felt like I could receive it, but then I owed them something in my mind. And so that's something that I've had to work on my whole life and still am, and because I do have giftings in serving, and I love doing that for people. So making sure that I never get those lines crossed of, am I doing things for others because I feel like that's the only thing that brings me value and the only reason that they would care about me or love me or like me as a person is because I have something to bring to them and something to perform, like performing well. Like that's what brings me value. And so that's been honestly my whole life, something I've struggled with. And a lot of people, because of my personality, I am very outgoing and appear very confident. And so a lot of times those people still struggle with insecurities and feeling like you're not good enough, or you're not, athletic enough or pretty enough or valuable enough in this way. And so it just doesn't always get noticed because you appear like you have it all together. And I very much did not. And so I struggled with a lot of that on my own. Growing up and just trying to fight through it, and then realizing like, hey, I'm not believing the truth about what God says about me, and that I have value because He created me, because of who I am, regardless of anything I can do ever. Anything I've ever done or anything I ever will do, I still have value, and I don't have to try to earn that from anybody, and especially from God. So yeah, I'm still learning that for sure, but that's something that I am working on.
Yeah. Very
Good
good.
stuff.
I think everybody goes through stuff like that and thinks that they need to do something in order to be important or valued. But that's very good. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Derek, tell us about your $1 million smile. Do you have any stories behind your teeth or lack of teeth or growing up?
Lack of teeth.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I forget.
He has them now.
I have some
I do
knowledge
now.
of, some situations. So I'm curious if you have anything to share with
Your
the people
teeth
about.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your teeth journey?
Yeah.
Why are you
I'm
the
so
way
curious.
that you are?
What's your teeth? Why are you the way that you are? Yeah, it's cost me about $1 million my mouth. I mean, it hasn't, not even close, but
You don't have $1 million.
No, hardly. Well, I
Facts.
did. JK. Nothing,
Honestly,
never mind. Well, when you say $1 million
maybe he does.
smile, you're like, I've about invested $1 million in my smile, which I haven't. Not even close. It's not
Okay.
even
All right, well,
close.
thanks for clarifying.
Yes, just to clarify.
Everyone was wondering.
I know. So when I was young, I had this like trike accident, and it like bumped out my one front tooth. So that was a party. So then I had crooked teeth growing up. Then I got braces, straighter, really good, really nice. And then probably the main drama I've had with my teeth is in India in 2020. We're there for children's retreat. Which you know the retreat?
Children's would tweet.
Have you ever been to
Your
children's
teeth are
retreat?
in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, when you're missing a tooth, you can't talk.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We were there in India. We were there for the whole month. So we would do 3 different retreats, and this was like on the second one, I think. Yeah. We're hanging out in a field, just playing sports. We had like an off day, and we're bumping the volleyball around. Then we're like heading it and just goofing off, stuff like that. Me and my friend go back, and we both try to head this volleyball like at the same time, not knowing each other were doing it. Mm-hmm. Somehow my head came down, his head came up, and he hits this tooth right here.
My word.
And it flies.
Front incisor.
Huh?
I'm just saying it for the listening audience. I couldn't see that.
Oh, okay. Thank
what it's
you.
called.
Yeah. Front yeah.
Front incisor.
Front incisor. Jen knows teeth.
Like the front synthesizer tooth. That's what it sounded like.
Oh, my stars.
Anyways.
This thing flies through the air with the greatest of ease. David Yoder, or did you see it too?
No,
Eugene?
our whole group, the whole circle, could just see a projectile floating in the air and landing in the grass. We all ran right up to it.
Oh my word!
And
that is wild.
I would have started crying if that was my tooth.
Honestly, it didn't even hurt. It almost hurt less after it was out. I was like, "What?" I was so
I'd have
strange.
been crying over the loss. Like, are you just not gonna have a tooth again?
Yeah.
Well, I know
I lost
that's
the tooth.
that's
That'd
what I
be
wasn't
very
sure.
traumatic.
It came out as the whole piece.
The whole
it was
tooth.
almost like
Like
an
the
inch
root.
long. Like
oh yeah,
everything.
right. Full. Yeah, and the crazy like a head is like roundish. It's not like the fact that it only got that tooth.
You only
and
got that. Yeah.
It literally didn't break any other teeth. Was literally a god thing. So
What happened after that?
We picked it up. We're like, all right. So we headed to the local like hospital. One of the guys we know work with there, his sister is a dentist. So like, obviously she'll know what to do. Took it there, and we're like, what are our options here? And she's like, well, we could stick it back in. I was like, okay. She's like, I've never done it before, but I've read about it. And I was like,
Perfect.
That's
Work.
always what you want to hear
In
from a
India,
medical
I've never done it, but I've read
professional.
about it.
Small
Dentist.
remote town.
yeah, small remote town.
That's all you need.
And honestly, she like cleaned it out, put it back in, put a wire behind it to hold it, and I ate soft foods. And I was back out. We were back out on the field like 3 hours later. Like nothing happened.
It also didn't cost that much either, right?
Cost me $5 for my meds.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
If that
Can-
accident would
In
have
the
happened
States,
Can you
here,
you'd be
imagine?
in debt for the
you would have
rest-
had to be a millionaire.
Yeah, you'd have to give up a
That's
kidney
where the $1
to pay for
million
that.
comes in. Yeah.
Would have had to
so-
give up
wow.
another tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
$5
you're like,
the other
Derek, we'll put this one in, but we need the rest of them back out. Yeah.
You have one left.
Literally.
That's literally
So,
crazy.
Honestly,
It
if it's
was-
gonna happen, it's cool that it happened there.
Go to another country.
for the price
Well,
wise.
I know,
Not for the
exactly.
other
No, literally,
inconvenience.
that's the crazy part. So I did have to get a root canal when I got back, but like the fact that I still have that tooth, and I just got to check up on it back in like March, and it's doing
It's
well.
still good to go.
It's doing well.
Can you eat
Thriving.
sweet corn,
Yeah, I can eat corn.
caramel apples?
Yeah. There's no,
No
restrictions.
limitations.
So. The fact that God worked
amazing.
that all out, and we still had like a week left in the retreat, so I was playing Jesus for the drama that week, so I was about to be a toothless hick.
Not exactly
Not
the
exact
representation
Jokes
of.
about the crucifixion scene. It would look a little more realistic if he's got teeth knocked
Oh, my
out.
stars.
Yeah.
Could have like pulled it out for that scene, then like stuck it back in. So,
Wow.
So
That's
anyway,
crazy.
I feel blessed. I
Thank
feel
you for that
blessed.
teeth journey.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good.
It was,
Jen, this is a little bit of a surprise question for you. How
I
many
can take credit for this
How
one.
many times
Oh,
is it
boy.
appropriate to stop and sleep
Oh.
on a 30-minute drive home?
As many as needed.
Do you
As
wanna-
many as you're tired. You
As
go by what
many
your
as you're
body
tired.
tells you to do.
Can I just share, like, so Jen at one point in life had this 30-minute drive home, and it took you 3 hours to get home. Is that correct?
well, or how many times
Oh,
did you stop?
Probably at least. I don't remember how long it took.
Don't
but-
you remember what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I stopped
I-
twice. Yeah,
Insane for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What was the
it was.
scenario?
I was coming home from I think the volleyball
It was
tournament.
after KBD. We were
That's
hanging out at the
right.
King's house, and you
Yes.
were going back to the city. It's like a 30-minute
It's a
drive.
30-minute drive
through
to the city.
Lancaster.
and it took her 3 hours when she could have
And
been there in 30 minutes.
Granted, I went to the King's house because I had to do something there. I was somebody I wanted to see, or I don't know. Like it wasn't
Okay.
like I knew I was tired. I probably should have just gone back to the house I was staying at.
Mm-hmm.
But I went there, and I knew I was tired anyway. But I went, and then I had to drive back back to the house, and I was just so bloomin' tired. I couldn't stay awake. So I pulled off and slept at one gas station about 15 minutes in. And then I got up.
Halfway.
Yeah, halfway.
15 more minutes left.
And I was like, I can't. And then I started driving and maybe 2 minutes. And I was like,
are you literally
and I
kidding?
literally remember like thinking to myself, I was like, too soon.
Are you
Like
joking?
I wasn't ready for this.
2 minutes.
So I pulled into the next gas station and slept again.
You should
And
have just
then,
turned around and went
minutes
to the
away.
original one.
honestly, I should have just slept in my car the whole night.
Oh my word.
So yeah, I love road tripping and I do it a ton.
That's not a road trip.
But no, and it's
30 minutes.
Yeah, Jen says the 30-minute trip is a road trip.
I
No.
know, but what I'm saying is I can drive. Like I drove out west 4 times by myself. All right.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you if it took 2 weeks.
But yeah, but back then I was a lot more. I could stay awake longer. Like I could do 12-hour stretches
That was closer
awake.
to your 16-year-old year.
That was when I was a
probably.
little younger. Yeah. So now it's just when I stop or when I drive, if I'm tired, I just
So
stop.
there's no fight whatsoever.
Yes, there is. Oh yeah, I have a whole list of things I go through them to fight it, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
if none of that works,
So
then it's like
you went through that list in 2 minutes?
no. That night I didn't. I was just tired. I was like, I'm not doing.
Dreaming.
I didn't want to stay awake
No,
that
I
night. I
appreciate,
wanted to
like,
sleep.
be safe. Like, pull.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fall asleep,
Yeah.
don't drive. But
Honestly,
it just
yeah.
blows my mind that is possible. for a
People make
person.
fun of me a lot for my driving habits, and my sleeping habits with driving. But have I ever wrecked because I fell asleep?
Yeah.
fallen
No.
asleep.
That's
Yeah,
good.
she's like, yeah.
Very true.
No, sorry. I
Because-
meant like, yeah, good
So
point.
my mom and dad always tell me, they're like, hey, if you need to pull over and sleep, even if it's 15 minutes, just pull over because most times that's when accidents happen anyway, is when you're almost home.
100%.
Wise
Because you're
words.
like, I'm not going to stop now. Like for
Right.
me that night, I'm like, I'm not going to stop for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be stopped than
Yeah.
No.
eating a pole, you know,
You're
running.
right.
Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
True.
So no, that's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Derek, who are your favorite comedians, artists, or YouTubers? Do you have any?
That's a good question. Yeah, I do got a few of them. So, OG Tim Hawkins will be
Yes.
one of my
Very
favorites.
Talented man.
Very multifaceted, talented man. Yeah, Tim Hawkins is a really good one.
I love
Brian Regan,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
classic. We've seen
eye, Brian.
him and then the next guy, Jim Gaffigan.
Yep.
We've seen both of them live. Worth the money.
Incredible.
100%.
We've seen Tim Hawkins live as well.
We have seen Tim Hawkins
Yep.
live as well. So, and Jen has too.
Good stuff.
So, yeah, and then probably one of our favorites, like currently, is Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
We
He
love
is-
you. Nate. We've also seen him.
We have seen him.
Yep.
That's true. So
Yep.
we do our best to support our guys in person. So those are, yeah. And then
Those are all clean comedians, too. That makes a big difference. If you can be
Yes.
funny without using cuss words or suggestive content, that is very impressive.
it's honestly very good.
We
It's
appreciate it.
It's more funny that way too. When
Exactly.
you don't have to
Yeah,
use
'cause
that.
you're
And it means that they're
laughing.
actually funny. 'cause
Yeah.
they're not just-
Legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Legit.
think one of my favorite Bargatze jokes is he's talking about how he was angry at his sister about something and he got really animated and he's like, and pardon my language, but this stinks.
Yeah.
Joke is so
It's
good.
so
Like,
funny.
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, artists, I mean Shane and Shane, big fans of them. We've seen them live. The Gaither Vocal Band, David Phelps, Phil Wickham. I'm sure
Seen all those people live.
it's such a blessing.
Man.
We've seen a lot of people live.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. So I think that's
That's good.
what I got.
Everybody should check him out
It should.
if you're looking for something to laugh at.
It's true.
Laugh at one of them.
They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially
I'll shout
Nate.
out one more thing. There's a YouTube channel called
boy.
from some friends of ours. It's actually Cody and his wife Michelle, Cody Knox. I don't know if you guys know this. They have a YouTube channel called More Than Farmers, and like they have like a little homestead thing.
What?
And I low key just love
Cody
watching.
Knox?
Yeah. I low key just love watching their farm life.
Shout out
So,
Cody Knox.
Shout out Cody Knox, More Than Farmers. So anyway,
On YouTube?
yeah, on YouTube.
Very
So
cool.
Check them out.
Looking for some more
Solid.
content.
Solid.
I love farmers.
Heard it here
Okay.
first.
All right.
Moving on, farmersonly.com.
Jen, what is something you found in your life that has been hard to do at one point, but now you have implemented into your life?
Okay, so Grace, the sad thing is I don't have a lot of these things to talk about because there's a lot of hard things I have not implemented. But Grace can relate to this one because something that we've started doing beginning of the year is working out.
Yeah.
Gym
Swole
gym
gang.
rat right here.
Gymshark.
And I don't know what that means.
It's irrelevant.
I do not like work. Like I love sports and being active. I love that. I don't love doing workouts
Yeah,
where
I get
it's
you.
targeting certain muscles and it's hard and it's tiring and it hurts and,
there's
you
no
get
sport
sore.
behind it.
And yeah, you're just doing it to
Yeah,
do it. You're
right.
not
There's
winning
no benefit
anything.
other
I mean,
than getting swole.
yeah, in the moment it feels just
Yeah.
really not fun.
Yeah.
And I have tried so many times to do it consistently and get a gym membership or just do it at home or whatever. And I just haven't stuck with it. And so this year, me and two of my friends, Grace being one of them, decided to start trying to do it together, which is a shout out for, people. If you can't do something, getting accountability
somebody to do with you.
is huge. So we've started doing that starting in January, and it's not every single day, but when we're all home, it's pretty consistent each week, a few days a week. And it's been 6 months now, and we're still doing
kicking.
it. And so
People had doubt in us.
yeah, I had doubt in us, to be honest.
You're right. Because we did that last year too, and we were done.
Yeah,
by
we
about
started
April.
and we didn't finish, but we have so far it's been implemented. And now being physical exercise and getting in shape, that kind of stuff. Obviously, that's not the most important things in life. So I wish I had something else I could share on, like that implementing some
but that's
for
good.
big whatever. But it is crazy how when you start doing even something like that maybe isn't the most important thing, if you stay committed to it and you get disciplined in it, it does help trickle over into other areas of life. So
Good word.
that's something that we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's keep it up.
Right
And
on.
Jen said she doesn't enjoy it. You absolutely kick our butts every time. Like, you're so good at like motivating yourself and pushing yourself. Like, you always challenge me to keep going.
Well, having people to do it with helps because if they're doing it right beside you,
You're right.
you're like, I'm not gonna quit, because like
Yeah.
it pushes you.
I do that.
When I
I could
No,
care
you
less.
don't. Not
Yeah, Grace is like, yeah.
it's just like helps when I do it by myself. Like no one's there to be like, if I skip that one workout, I'm like, I'm
Right.
just gonna not do this. Yeah, it pushes you.
Yeah.
So it's good. You guys push me a lot.
And having 3 people help.
Yeah.
Because even if you have 2, it's easier to talk each other out of it. If there's that one other person that's like, nope, we got to keep doing it or something, it just helps.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good stuff.
Derek, what are some things you do when you're like at home, local, things you do regularly?
That's a good question. I have to laugh because Mom put some of these questions
Yeah,
in.
shout out to
and tell
Ruth
that to
Ann
Ruth
for
Ann.
asking
It's
these
a classic.
questions.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Classic. I literally can't talk.
Yeah,
today.
we're gonna really have to get
classic. Oh,
like ice.
Mom.
No,
Ice.
giving.
Oh my
Yeah.
word.
You'll figure it out.
No,
Yeah,
I've literally got a scar from
Same.
this, like,
I
from
got-
a couple
All right,
hours
we'll let
ago,
Derek
Me and
explain
Eugene,
what we're talking
Eugene have
about.
scars on both our arms. So, yeah. So yeah, I think one of
Do you
the
guys do drugs?
No, we give
Why are there
back.
scars
Needles.
on your arms?
We
Let's
give-
let
we do
Derek
do needles.
explain,
We do
please.
do
Okay,
needles.
Derek.
So yeah, a couple of things is like playing basketball with the local guys, like on Mondays when we're home. I do give platelets once a week. Eugene does as well when we're home.
That
And
is what we were referring
Yeah,
to.
That's what
and
we're referring to.
platelets for the people that have no idea what that word means, because I didn't know what a platelet was till y'all started giving them.
It's things in your blood. So they actually take your blood, take out what they need, and give it back to you. So you can do that once a week, and you get reward points for it that you can redeem for gift cards and stuff, and you get free snacks.
Be
and
honest, is that the only reason why you're doing it?
It is
or-
not. Would I give as much if there was no rewards? No. But would I still give? Yes, genuinely. So, yeah. So that's honestly, it's just kind of an outing thing. Just go do it. Give back.
My question is, why don't they just keep the blood too? I'm like, you already have
Because
it
they
out.
take way
'Cause
more,
they
don't
take-
they?
And you
Technically
can
what
only
the-
do that every 8 weeks.
You can only get blood so many times. You can get platelets like all the time.
So I'm like, man, they have the blood out. Might as well take that and the platelets.
Well,
and
but then we couldn't
double
give as
whammy.
often.
When you donate
And then
whole
you-
blood, they're taking it in its entirety, and they're not like yanking.
If we
stuff
talk
out
about
of
this
it.
too much, I'm going to
Okay.
throw up.
Okay.
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay, that makes sense.
Platelets, plasma, and red blood cells are all individual items they can take out of your blood and put your blood back in your body. So, like, you're not supposed to, but we're active that same day, and you don't feel lightheaded, you don't pass out.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally fine. Whereas when you donate whole blood, like, you
Yeah.
feel that a lot more,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
affects your day or two. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Or should we go
Yeah.
give blood later?
No, I couldn't handle it.
hey, honestly, they're looking for people.
Anything
so.
else?
Yeah, I think I'm in a book club with Reagan and Chase where we read books, and that has been something that like where we read one a month, or that's our goal.
That's so impressive, honestly.
Well-
a book a month?
Yeah, well, but some
Mm-hmm.
they're reading 2
Wow.
in a month sometimes. So shout out to them. But
It's a really fun local activity.
I know. Well, it's local for
It takes up his local
I
time.
know. But I was
What
just
do you
like,
do when you're home?
Okay, for
Hang
those
out
of
with
you who
people out
don't
of
know,
state.
Reagan and Chase are from Ohio,
I
not
know,
North Carolina.
I know.
So.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
like,
I get you,
do
I
you
get you.
understand? Like, for
Yes.
me, like, I do that everywhere. So it's
Yeah.
for me, it feels local.
I just had
but
to remind you what the question was. That's all.
You're right,
Okay.
I know.
That's good. That's a good answer.
I wanted to throw in some of these things that aren't really relevant to
No,
the
it's
question.
good.
So that's on me.
We're getting to know you.
You're
It's
doing
your
that.
birthday. You can do whatever you want.
Thank
Oh.
you. I appreciate that. So, but yeah, that's really like been a game changer. So like, if you want to get good at something, I think like you said, surround yourself with people that like,
Yeah.
I want to do the
Push
same
you.
things, and that really helps.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but playing pickleball, hanging out with friends. There's a one of the local things that is one of my funnest things to do. There's a group from us here, some of us younger ones that hang out with a group of older people. And like from our church, and honestly, getting together with them and hearing about their life and like stuff they did growing up is one of the funnest things you'll ever do.
Yeah.
So if I could tell you to do one thing from this episode is go find some older people that maybe don't have kids in the house anymore, or that you feel like, hey, I'd want to know about their life, and
Yeah.
like just go hang out with them, go out to eat with them, do something. I feel like a lot of people want that, but they're not willing to just like start simple. Like, yeah, literally just invite them, hey, let's go out to eat on Friday. And then just like learn about their lives. And literally it means so much to them. They're just happy that like young people want to hang out with them. Honestly, so
Yeah,
that's one of the funnest things I do here locally.
Would want to hang out with young people, but they're afraid that they don't want to hang out with them.
Exactly.
And so
they're
it's
they feel like they're maybe not as much wanted, or
taking the first step and asking them to hang out.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that's all I have. So,
and he eats cold hot dogs.
I literally was just about to say that. So I do eat cold hot dogs.
Local trait.
It's what he does
and
all over the world.
How many hot dogs did you eat the other night, Derek?
It was 6.
We were at
how many cold and how many hot?
It was 1 cold and 5 hot, but then only like 2 with a bun.
Mr. Chestnut over here.
Joey, call me Joey.
We were having a gathering with people, and hot dogs was it wasn't like he was just at home chowing down on hot dogs.
Although,
but he does do that too.
He would do that.
It's true.
Yep. All right. Jen, what are a few of like the most recent inspirational or helpful concepts you've received or heard, learned, or read about recently that you want to share?
So there's 2 quick things that I'll share about that. And one is that often it feels like God doesn't always fill you with the next thing until you let go of what you're currently holding. And so that has been something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, that there's things that maybe I'm wanting for the future or pursuing, and I'm like, man, it doesn't feel like it's happening, or like why aren't the doors opening when I feel like it is what God wants. But then I realized that maybe my hands are too full of things that I have not released yet, and I've not let them go, and I've not even moved on from or said, okay, these are things for then, and now to have things for the future, my hands are too full of those other things that God can't give me the new thing. So that's something that I have been thinking about a lot, and that's been good for me. And I would challenge everybody with that. And then also the phrase that I have in my house that I've had, I have a little plaque in my house, and something that I always think about is, if not now, when? And that's something I don't live up to as well as I should. But the whole concept of like, what are you putting off that you could be doing now? Like, and if you're putting off something that you want, or something that's good to do, or something that God's calling you to do, if you're putting it off, and if it's not now, then when? When's it going to be? Because it's always going to be something in the future if you don't take action now. And so I understand some things are for the future. You don't do everything right now. But if there's things you're thinking of and you're wanting to do and you're not doing it now, then when? Like, when are you going to do it? And so that's something I want to keep challenging myself with, and stepping out and doing things now.
That's good.
Very good.
So yeah, that's just some things there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Derek, do you have anything you want to add with that, or?
One thing that came to mind, what you said about like just like starting now. I think so often we wait for the perfect conditions, but I think there's a guy that I follow, and he says start something when it's hard, or like start a business when it's hard. Start doing something when it's hard, because then when it gets easier, it'll be a breeze. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we wait for everything to be perfect so often, but like if you start when it's hard, it's only going to get easier versus starting when it's easy, then it gets hard and you're going to quit. So
That's true.
Yeah. So that was that challenged my thinking on like, there's never perfect conditions.
Yeah,
never perfect
true.
conditions.
Very true.
So, yeah, that was a good word, Jen.
We interrupt this regularly scheduled programming with Hot Takes!
Hot
Ding, Jen?
Hot Takes, can't wait. This is going to be great. So,
Speaking of hot, Eugene is coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Coming in
It
hot.
just took me out of my chair for a second.
Yeah, trying to bring the energy here.
Yeah.
Good job,
You never know
Gene.
what
You
you're
were
going to get.
crushing it.
True.
So, Derek, let's start with you.
All right.
Do you have a flaming hot take?
How Eugene's voice is so low.
Flaming.
Yeah.
I think I've alluded to this, but I'm just gonna reiterate this
Oh, boy.
because I
Oh,
feel like
boy.
it's valid, and
scared.
people are under this spell. Eggs are probably the most overrated thing on the planet as far as foods.
When have you alluded to this?
In our other episodes, when people have talked about
When?
eggs, like eggs are just like
When do you guys talk about eggs?
people live for eggs,
guess
and
we
I'm like,
have.
why would
Yeah.
you live for eggs?
Okay,
I love
I'm sure the
eggs.
audience, call me Nate, on becoming something, playing the devil's advocate. They're
Yeah.
asking,
Okay.
how do you do your eggs? Like, how do you prefer them prepared?
I prefer
Because that's a
them.
big deal.
Yeah.
I prefer them
She's like what he said.
Yeah.
I don't prepare eggs, so I have.
Hey, but if you order
you
them
would,
somewhere,
okay.
You're going out for breakfast.
Generally, like scrambled.
Okay,
Yeah.
'cause
Scrambled.
some people are like, "Oh, it's got to be over medium,
Over-
sunny
yeah, or
side up
over
with
light,
a
Yeah.
little bit of runny."
That's
I'm like,
Jen.
Amen.
Jen is that
I will
girl.
eat them any way you make them,
See,
really?
except poached. I don't even know what that
more-
means.
I'm more open to different forms of prepared eggs than what I used to be. Yeah.
okay.
Like-
yeah, I am.
I'll eat eggs out of a packet. I mean, like you know how
Whoa.
that eggs.
Out of
So
the
eggs
what?
at a lot of restaurants will buy eggs in a pouch. Like they're
A pound.
they're
wanna
eggs, but
talk
it's like
about
powder.
this.
You're saying they won't buy the actual like egg?
No,
What?
no, like a lot like okay. You know, whenever you eat like at a hotel, those eggs that they have in there,
Ugh.
they aren't
Gross.
cracking those back
See,
there
I
and
don't
making
eat-
them.
I don't eat
Those
those.
come in like packages, and you mix them with water and you whatever.
And you just
It's
love
like,
it, don't
That
you?
sounds
Like hamburger
gross.
helper, egg helper. I don't know if that's what it's called.
And you like those, Jen?
Actually, I don't know. Ruth Ann probably is in the studio like what's
Yeah,
happening,
she's
but she
going-
probably knows more about this than I do. But there are
Sounds
eggs
awful.
that they just taste really, really light, like like
Yeah.
there's nothing to them.
And
Like
you
almost
like
Pretty
like
fake.
I love it. I love any egg.
Hotel
I'm-
continental breakfast eggs have to be the worst eggs ever.
Jen
Probably some of the
I
worst.
just had
continental
them
breakfast.
2 days ago
And you
when I was at
loved
the
it?
hotel, and
They always add a little bit too much water.
they
They're
were
always
Hey.
gross
But
and
honestly,
slimy.
you get hydrated while you're eating them. It's a win.
Oh,
win.
my
Jen,
win.
stars.
stop it.
Water with your
Okay,
eggs.
Here's
this
the
is
thing.
Derek's hot take.
Jen
what
said
are
she
you?
didn't have a hot take.
What do you
but
want to
she did
say?
this before. My
I was
goodness.
gonna. That was my other
She
part.
wants wet eggs and
Oh.
high humidity.
I'm literally about to throw up. Right
Preferably at the same
I'm
time.
literally about to puke.
Wow.
I'm
All
literally
right,
about to
Derek.
puke.
Sorry, continue. Your
All
hot
I'm
take.
saying, like, that was my other thing. Like, if I do have scrambled eggs, they got to be dry as a bone. Like, if
Yeah.
if there's water sitting in the
water
bottom,
is nasty.
like you're about to throw up.
Yeah,
So.
that gives me the ick.
The only time
I
I
just get a
really.
spoon then, because you can't fork them if there's the liquid. So you have to eat
So you're actually eating
Gotta get
more
all
of the
the
liquid.
liquid.
Jen,
You're
ew.
like cereal. Yuck.
That's crazy.
Like egg juice.
Yeah, I don't mind
You
it.
gonna say something,
I'm
Grace?
glad you enjoy it. I just,
That
the
is-
only time I enjoy eggs is like if they're at home, like if I make them, or like, like
better.
if you're just having breakfast at home. That's usually at restaurants. I'm just never a huge fan.
What do you think about hard-boiled eggs?
No.
No, big no.
Oof.
Deviled eggs, the absolute
Ooh.
worst thing on planet
I
Earth.
mean, they're called deviled, so.
Yeah, because they're good. I mean,
Jen.
not be- like, never mind.
You call
I don't
them
know
deviled
where I went with
good?
that. No,
Wow.
See,
deviled with an ed.
Yeah, I wish I liked them because they're good for you. Like,
Yeah.
like they're healthy. I just
Yeah.
don't enjoy
I
them
would
at
say
all.
if you looked at it as the item by itself, it's almost always included with a breakfast meal, and so
Yeah.
it makes it justifiable. But if I were to just make eggs by itself, I don't get like super excited
talking about
for
just
it.
regular,
Other
like,
than
scrambled eggs?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
other than the health value. That
yeah, the health value is good.
I,
but
going along with that hot take, I mean, who decided to eat eggs first? What kind of a
Yeah.
weirdo?
Well, who
says,
decided to
"Well,
eat chickens? I
these
mean,
chickens
that's
decided to
delicious.
drink milk.
and milk,
Yeah.
But
milk
chickens
too.
is meat and it's an animal.
Yeah,
that makes
chickens
sense.
is better. Like, you butcher the
Eggs?
chicken.
Who decided we eat the unborn children of an animal?
I hate putting
Sounds-
it that
In
way.
a child
really
all
bad.
the time.
Okay, but we
I
put
know that,
eggs.
But it has potential.
Guys, eggs is an ingredient. Great.
Yeah.
You have
Well,
to.
I
You're
agree.
making
I agree.
cookies,
Oh, yeah.
cakes.
Bacon.
Have
It
to have
begs
eggs
the
in them.
question: who was the first person to milk a cow for
Yeah,
human
milk,
consumption?
exactly.
It's
And
true.
Crazy
who was the
people.
first person to try eggs from
Crack
chicken?
an egg,
I mean, they were
cook it.
some weird people.
But man, do we appreciate
but
them.
we love them.
I consume both those things, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone else didn't do it first, I'd be like, well, I mean, even if I wanted to, I'm not doing that.
That's weird. Yeah.
I would.
No.
Jen.
Like,
Yeah.
where did no
Yeah.
eggs? I think
What
are.
were you about to
We-
say? You were about to say something.
Yeah. Okay, guys, give me credit.
where
One
them
time
what?
I actually hold back.
Where them
and
what,
then you're
Jen?
like, oh, what?
Because it was gonna be funny. I know.
No,
it's gonna be
we
We've
funny.
been
held
talking
back.
Do you
about
wanna
eggs
share?
for
I
so
know.
long.
Yo,
No,
where
I-
them what?
Eggs are good. That's all I'm saying.
Where
is
them eggs
because
at? Where them what?
All right.
I didn't
Moving
say
on.
anything.
Derek, thank you for your
yeah,
hot take.
but
Okay,
eggs
all
are
right.
delicious and they have very nutritional
There's a reason why it was
value.
a hot
This is coming
take because
from
you
Miss
disagree.
Humidity,
Yeah,
And I,
you can live off
I
them.
kind of agree with his take.
Derek, I'm kind of
you.
with you. Eggs are overrated, but
Yes.
not bad.
If they're prepared right.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
If
have to
they're
be
prepared
prepared.
right.
Any egg.
Yeah.
A dippy egg with toast and it's hot is not much. But like the yellow part of an
Really?
egg is very underrated in my opinion. Even in hard boiled, I actually
I don't
would
want to
just
get
eat
into
the
that because
inside.
I
Anyway,
can't disagree
love eggs.
more.
Egg sandwiches.
Great.
Different story.
Delicious.
Egg
Different
salad.
story. Oh, gross. Absolutely
You can tell
disgusting.
who all the siblings
this
are
is
here.
absolutely nasty.
All three of us.
Yeah, I feel like we're not. I feel like
Jen was trying to get
guys.
rapport like egg salad. No.
Guys, we can't just hate on Jen this
Yeah.
whole time.
You're right.
This
Hey,
was
I'm-
Derek's
Sorry,
hot
Jen.
take.
I do
Alright.
love egg salad. Though. Oof.
Nothing wrong with you liking it. I just
Mayonnaise.
cannot imagine.
And eggs. Mixed.
Stop.
With some.
I'm not going to be able to refrain from
all right.
making fun of you.
All right,
Keep
all right,
going.
all right, all right.
Grace and I were talking about hot takes
'Kay.
before we started recording, and we were going to try to stay away from food because that's often
Oh,
where
Yeah.
hot takes go.
that's
so,
fair, that's fair.
But no problem on that one. I
Oh.
agree with you on
Yeah.
that. I guess I'll go. I was thinking about this literally like 5 minutes ago while we were recording.
Oh, you didn't have one before
fresh
that?
off the
No.
press.
I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
what is my hot take?
Yeah.
Something that came to my mind. It's pretty specific, but it's kind of a, I don't know, it's a soapbox I stand on, or however you say that, phrase. If you can't drive stick, you are a liability in a group setting.
Oh.
How rude.
That's not true.
How rude.
Hold on.
You're calling me a liability right now?
This is exactly
I mean,
I'm
what?
saying.
Well,
Who says
So
I didn't
listen.
drive stick?
Yeah,
Listen.
she knows.
All right. So we, in our family, my dad has had a stick shift truck, a little Mazda truck, ever since we were around. Like, it's a 97, and he bought
Yeah,
it a
that's
few years old.
it's
Like,
a 97.
yeah, it's
Nobody
old.
driving those vehicles anymore.
It's old.
It's amazing.
And that's stick.
Yeah.
And then we had a little Ford Focus that was stick, and right now my Mustang is stick, 6-speed. For anyone that gives a rip about that.
By the way.
This is about Derek and Jen.
Right. Yeah. So moving on, there is so many times when we're doing like a vehicle swap, we're doing carpooling, I need to move a vehicle in a parking lot. I need to move it. We got our blacktop sealed the other day, and someone needed to move my car from down there to up out of the way. If Derek wouldn't have been home, my car wouldn't have gotten
I
moved.
actually ran home to move it.
Maybe
But-
I
but
could
it's
have figured
fine.
it out.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
And
Maybe you
but-
shouldn't buy a stick shift car.
Have I tried to teach you stick?
Yes, and I almost got it.
Gave up.
Hey,
Because
great.
you took me on a hill for my first thing.
Yeah, that's rude.
No, it was
The
flat,
worst
and then we tried
scenario.
to.
Give her some good
Once I'm
situation
going,
to
I'm
learn
great.
in.
But
can
them
ask-
hills, man.
Them hills,
I have
man.
taught one of my sisters, and she does very well. The other sister was not quite as resilient, and it's totally fine. But back to my
Calling
hot
me
take.
not resilient right now.
weren't in that
Liability
scenario.
and not
You said, I just
resilient.
don't want it that bad. I said, okay.
You know what? I have nothing to
So-
prove.
Yeah, Grace, you're
my
right.
car isn't stick,
Well,
so
then
it
let
doesn't
me
matter.
finish my hot
And-
take if
and
you have nothing to prove.
80% of people do not drive stick shift cars.
I disagree with
That's a hot
that.
take.
I think that's.
Okay.
I'm going to Google it.
Go ahead.
So there's been many scenarios in my life where someone has a Jeep, someone has a dump truck at a job, or a work truck, like an F-150 or something, and they're like, hey, hop in there and move that.
yeah.
I would have felt like an absolute liability on a job site, and as a man, this is maybe even more specific
I was
to men.
going to say,
and
when
Probably
do I
more to
ever come
men
in contact with a
that-
dump truck that I need to move?
Well,
No, I mean, but
again, the
Man, I was out on
scenario
the job
described
site
first,
today and
Yes.
I couldn't move
No.
the dump truck.
where
You're
it's
right.
like,
Felt
hey,
really.
Grace, we need a 4-passenger car to take this, group of people this place. So can you take my car home? Oh no, you can't. So we'll have to figure out some other way to. There's so many scenarios like that where youth group, friends groups, like family scenarios where it is just kind of annoying that, like, even in America, a lot of cars are automatic. Other countries, there's a lot more manual.
Yeah,
and
for
straight
sure.
drive
But
vehicles.
we're in the U.S., so
I know.
I just don't think that. I don't think there's a very high percentage of people that.
Do you have a mint in your mouth?
Yeah,
Wow,
you have a mint
Jen.
in the left side of your mouth.
Jen. Jen, maybe finish the mint
Sorry.
before you
Jen,
start
put a
spouting
good dip
off.
in before she answers.
So let me get this big old mint here.
Sounds like Jen has a ball in her mouth right now.
You couldn't hear it. You could just.
No, I
I
could
mean,
hear
you
it.
can hear it a little
The way
bit.
you were talking
Jen.
was insane.
Okay, keep going.
Anyway, so that's my hot take. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you have to agree with it. It's that honestly,
Sure.
you as a person are a little bit of a liability in a setting where, like, you have a lot of Jeeps and like cars and whatever that are manual, and
Yeah.
it would be helpful if more of the population by percentage knew how to drive stick because they're out there.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
2.4%.
Of the population?
Are you serious?
It says that manual transmission was once a popular choice and is now very rare. Just 2.4% of our cars sold today have stick shifts.
Right.
Oh, my
have
goodness.
it. Yeah.
Meaning,
That does not mean that
That doesn't
2.4%
mean that-
of people know it.
I see
Because in
what-
other
Wait.
countries, everyone
no,
knows how to drive
I mean,
stick.
that's
You're
what my
saying-
point is. The percentage of vehicles sold today that are stick shift is so small that if you don't know how to drive them, that's
Are
totally
you driving
fine.
a 2023, Jen?
No. Do I know
That's
how to
what
drive
that-
stick shift?
That's what that
Yes.
stat is.
He's saying like newer cars now.
New
So
cars.
like old
Okay,
cars
this
that are
is
already
irrelevant.
manual.
The majority
like,
of
yeah.
cars
This
on
is
the road
irrelevant.
right
Yeah.
now are not 2023s.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is the minority of people right now currently drive stick shifts. And you go at our church right now.
Right,
So how
exactly.
many people will drive a stick shift? So my point is, it's nice to know, but the people that drive them are actually the ones that are bringing the problem because most people don't. And so
problem.
Yeah.
there's not really a
don't
reason
see
for them
that.
to learn it. And so if you bring a stick shift
Huh?
vehicle
Yeah.
to the party, it's kind of on you to be like, hey, you have to realize the way the world is now, there's going to be
You're the
most-
minority.
Most people won't know how to drive it. And so you can't expect the minority or the majority to learn something that only a
For the
minority of people
for the
drive.
minority.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
man.
I learned Eugene, I learned stick shift whenever I was like really young for my brother.
So you're not
I
a
did-
liability.
no, I learned it, but I learned it in the one vehicle I didn't own, and I never drove that vehicle, so I didn't drive it for years and years because I
Yeah.
never needed to. And so it wasn't really even worth me learning. Like, it's not like I was ever a liability because I couldn't, but I never really needed to.
I agree with it. Like, I would love to know how to drive and be good at it. So if I needed to, but there's probably been maybe 2 scenarios where I would have needed it in my life so far. And I just don't think it's...
And you would have been a huge asset in those 2 scenarios.
No, it's totally fine.
Well, and I think...
It sounds personal because it would have helped Eugene out.
Yeah.
I think
You're the one with the
in
car.
a scenario where it would be handy for you to have it, Grace, the fact that, like, you can just say, well, it's the minority, so I shouldn't learn it. I'm like, I'm glad you tried, Grace. I'm not faulting you for that. But I think in your situation it's different, too, than, like, if your family has one and you're just like, oh, I can't learn it. Like, that's a little
but
bit...
I did learn it.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, like...
Like, I don't think you realize how many times it's like you could take Dad's truck somewhere as the vehicle that you're driving for that
Hardly
night.
ever does that happen.
Hardly
ever.
Anyway.
You said how many times? Maybe twice.
Hot take.
Anyway.
But I agree. There's been I wish I just knew how. To be honest, don't want to put in the work.
Yeah.
And I'll say it.
See,
That's
I
100%
appreciate
true.
I think
that
it's good that I'm admitting that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least give me
Great, too.
that.
And I think it's okay for you to admit it because it's not
Thank
a
you.
need in this world.
Exactly.
I think for men it is more for women than for women.
Yes.
I will
Can
say
we
that.
agree on that, Eugene?
I didn't say they're a terrible person. I just said
I
they're a
agreed.
liability and a grief.
And honestly, I could just, if I really need to move something, I'm just going to push it right out of the way.
Well, okay, Jen.
Okay.
Wow, very confident.
Thank you
Yeah.
for that hot take, Eugene. I guess.
That really got people riled up.
I
Well, then what do we
can't
thought?
wait to do a poll about this too, to see actually how many
People know how.
know
Yeah.
I
how,
will
and
say-
also how many people think that you should know how if
Yeah.
you don't. Like,
Yeah, that's
how
good. That'd be a
important
good
is
question.
that?
I still,
Good
at some
question.
point in my life, would like to learn. I think it would be cool to know that if there would be a vehicle, like a cool vehicle or something
Yes.
that I was like, oh, I can't drive that. I don't know stick. Like that, to me, it is cool if a girl especially knows how to drive
Yeah.
stick. I think that's cool.
Like,
so I
if
do
you
want
get
to
a Jeep
learn.
or
Yeah.
like my dad
Yep.
just bought a slingshot and it's stick.
Yes.
And
And
I
Oh, it
so
is.
much more fun
And I
when
drove
it's
it.
stick. Vehicles are way more fun when they are stick to drive. If
In
you,
that
if you
scenario.
drive it, yeah.
'Cause, like,
slingshot, a fast car,
Yeah.
a bike, a motorcycle.
but like a regular car, like on the road, like a Honda or whatever,
Yeah.
just to have that as stick would be super annoying to
agree.
me,
I'd
especially
rather have
in
an
like
automatic.
driving a Honda.
in like or a Mustang, anything that like
you
if
mean
you
a
get
sports car?
yeah, because like if you get in
I
like
can't
Like a
take this
fast car?
anymore.
if you get in a traffic jam, annoying as all get out. You're
Not-
shift,
not really
shift,
if you're
shift,
used to it.
shift,
I mean, if you're
shift.
used to
Anyway,
it.
I don't like it.
So yes, I would like to learn, but I have not yet.
Yeah,
So I have tried though. But
good job, Grace.
Anyway, okay. Jen, talking a little bit about like your family, whatever. Tell us a little bit. How has your dad influenced your life?
So my dad's a really, really incredible guy, and he's very much like me as far as personality wise. If you would meet him and get to know him, and you know me, you would be like, "Oh wow, she's a lot like her dad," which I feel is a big honor. But one thing that he has impacted my life in specifically is generosity. He, ever since I was little, I always remember him as being the one who was there for people, whether it was financially, whether it was doing something for them, or helping somebody out. If there was a work night at church, he was there. If there was a work event anywhere in the community, he was there. It wasn't even a question. It was like, if there's a need in the community, even if I'm not responsible for it or it's not even my role to fill, and I wouldn't have to, I could say, oh, I don't need to be there. He was there because he could be.
Yeah.
And that was something that stuck out to me a lot, is like, if people needed something, he was there. And he was very generous with his time and unselfish with it, and also with his money. He's been very, very smart financially and done a lot with investing and just taking risks, but calculated risks. And he only has a 10th grade education. He went to school, for 10 years, dropped out, joined his dad and his business, eventually started his own business. And so
10th grade. That's interesting. It's usually 8th grade.
yeah, he went to 10th and he was like,
Overachiever.
I'm done with this.
Last
yeah.
2 years are irrelevant.
Yeah, he's like, I'm ready for the world.
I
I'm
really
ready.
liked sophomore year. Didn't want to go back.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, not the one. So he's just been very inspiring in the way that he's just kind of taken life by the horns and made his own path. And then because he stepped out and like took risks and was smart and worked hard, is now at a place where he can also bless people a lot with the things that he has, whether it's things, that are property or financially, whatever. So he's always been so, so generous. And that is something that I feel like kind of that got passed down to me in the sense that I love to give. sometimes too much to the expense when I probably shouldn't. Like I don't even have the means to do it. But if there's a need and someone needs something, I'm like, absolutely. Like I will totally be there. I just view life that way. Yeah. And if I can give things like gifts, I love giving gifts. I love helping people out if I can, whatever. And so that is something that I attest specifically to my dad doing that. To me, he's done it to me a ton. I mean, he's still like, there's times when I'll go home. Almost every time when I go home, I'm not saying this so that he keeps doing it, but hey, Dad.
Well,
love you, Dad.
He's not listening.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Oh, he listens. Shout out, Glenn. But often, like it'll be something either in my glove box or under my mat in my car or something that he'll put there, like money or mostly money.
Pretty much money.
But yeah.
like money and money.
Just like, and not because he has to. He's no responsibility to do that, and he does it just because he cares and he wants to like take care of me and like bless me in that way. And so he the other night too, my brother has a wood business and he was up cutting wood and he was super like tired and it was late and he was behind, and all of a sudden I saw my dad heading down the steps. It was like 10:30. I was like, where are you going? He's like, oh, I'm gonna go help Jeff cut wood, getting caught up. And I was like,
that's
what
so
a dad,
nice.
like what a guy that like is worked all day long. Son didn't even ask him to, and yet he's like, there's a need and he's going to go fill it. Like he would do anything for his kids. And so I want to carry that on in my life, and not just in like financially, but just in being there for people and being kind and unselfish with my time, realizing it is not my own, and not being selfish with like doing things for others, but putting them first. So that's one thing for sure that my dad has impacted my life in a big way.
Yeah, very cool. Your dad's a cool guy. I don't know him very well, but he seems awesome.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad.
Wow, that's sweet. Derek, what are some of the vehicles you've owned over the years?
My first car was a Chrysler Sebring
Yes, sir.
convertible, baby.
Convertible.
Cruising NC in the convertible.
That thing was hot.
Thing was a hot item
Until the engine was hot and didn't work.
Yeah.
The engine, it was so hot the engine blew up.
Yeah.
But that was my first car. So that was a good one. Then we had me and Eugene owned a Ford Focus together for a while, and
manual,
because we could. And then I bought that from him.
Because you were broke.
Excuse me?
Because you said it was all the old cars that are stick shift. So if you're buying a new car, maybe it won't be stick.
I kind of like that
I was,
car.
what,
That Focus was
17
kind of
maybe?
cool, actually.
So, I don't know. That, and then I had a King Ranch for a while, an F-150. Really liked that truck.
I
Great
forgot
truck.
about that truck.
I know, right?
The
Boy,
nicest
did it
seats.
stink,
Yes.
though. You had quite the journey with
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a journey. Had like an animal's eye like up in the vents, and
it. Just
so
always smelled.
Oh, goodness.
it was interesting. But we got it. Yeah, mostly taken care of.
That was a cool
so
truck.
It was a cool truck. And then the latest one is Kenzie, my Kia Optima. She's great. I really like her. So
She's been through it a little bit too.
she has kind of, but she's done really good.
Mostly driver
Great
error,
road
but-
trip car.
Yeah.
We've been in a few scrapes and stuff, but thankfully everything's been taken
Never
care
know
of.
what's gonna happen.
Engine blew up, but they was replaced by Kia, so it was
Too easy.
It was solid.
Oh, your engine blew up too?
Yeah.
So did my other friends.
I know.
With it. Yeah.
I know.
Apparently Kias aren't the hottest for engines lasting.
I know, but thankfully they replaced them, so it's like I have a warranty on my engine for life. So bless up for that. So
Too easy.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, your car has taken us many places.
It's done well. It's been reliable.
It is the best road trip car.
It
It's
really
got-
is.
Roomy.
It's got room for the passengers, the
Big trunk.
drivers.
Yeah.
Big trunk.
Yep.
It's awesome. Gets good gas mileage
Yeah.
for a car its size.
It really does well.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Derek even let me take it on a road trip that he wasn't on. So what a G.
Anytime.
Appreciate it. Jen, what activities do you not wear socks for?
No. Not many. Not many.
Not many.
No. The
such
fact
a
that I
stupid
love
question.
wearing socks, it's because I love
love
wearing
it.
socks to bed. So Ruthann,
Yeah.
for you guys that don't, Ruthann was kind of the brains behind
Yeah,
this whole
Mom
episode.
did pretty much all these questions.
So we really appreciate Ruthann, and she came up with the questions. But I do love to wear socks, but I don't love to wear them, to go swimming. So
Swimming and like the shower.
I keep those off for swimming. Sometimes the shower, that's hit and miss. It just depends.
You're kidding, right?
Yes, I'm
And
kidding.
You had me scared. For a
Yeah.
second.
So basically,
Is that how you do laundry? You
I
just,
will wear socks at night and when I'm wearing shoes with them. Other than that, I do like to be barefoot. So anyway,
So there's many activities that you do.
yeah,
that.
many, but
But
mostly
mainly swimming.
Yeah.
mainly swimming and what's the other
And
thing? Oh, taking a
showering?
shower. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the art of good questions is that's a lot simpler answer to say what don't you wear them for because clearly you wear them for pretty much everything
yeah,
else.
right.
That's amazing.
Socks
That's
are
a short
awesome.
list.
Cocoon for your feet. Love them.
That's a short
Cocoon
list.
for
So
your
you've
feet.
lived I mean, what, 28, 29 years of your life in socks? I mean,
Yeah.
5%.
I mean, babies wear
pretty
'em.
much the whole.
Love
So
'em.
probably 30 years.
I wear socks quite a bit, just not for bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Derek, by percentage, how many items you buy on Amazon do you end up returning?
Oh my. This
Dadgummit.
feels like
Hold
A
it.
This
call
is
out.
also yours truly that came
this
up
feels
with
like
that
a
one.
call
love it.
out moment.
It's
This is a come to
it's a
Jesus
valid
Derek
confession
is the
moment.
biggest Amazon guy
hit me
I've
with
ever
a
known.
percentage, because I mean the amount of packages this dude like ingests into his ether, I don't know, it's crazy. But then the amount of them that go straight back to where they came from, I cannot
He's a
fathom.
trier. He's a trier.
That would
outer.
stress me
The
out.
whole try before you buy on Amazon, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure was created solely for Derek.
Yeah.
so that
Most
they don't
I've
have to-
taken advantage of that heavily.
So give me a percentage, roughly.
Well, I will say this: like, I don't order near as much stuff as I used to.
Let's say in your heyday.
In my peak,
There was a
I
couple
was
years
probably
ago.
returning. It literally depends what it is. Like,
Just give me the percentage and then explain it.
All
He's
right,
avoiding
all right.
it.
Just so people kind of know.
at the peak, it was probably a good like 30 to 40% of like
Of
Went
returns?
back.
went back.
Okay.
Is that it?
Probably 40. Yeah.
I'd say at least 40.
Feels like
Mine
a lot.
is 0, so that is a high.
Some
I
people,
don't
like-
send anything
yeah.
back.
Yeah, normal people it's 5.
Well, and it's not
or
like
less.
Derek buys something he doesn't like. He'll buy multiple of the same thing
Oh.
to see which one he wants.
Yeah.
And then return it.
That's what I just don't understand.
Hopefully
is
Jeff Bezos isn't listening to this.
Well, even if he is, I love you, Jeff.
I
Thanks for your
just
policy.
can't like. I would just order one, send it back, order another one.
Sorry, continue.
Which is
Continue with your
stupid, I know.
explanation.
So that's inefficient. Like
Yeah,
completely.
you're right. Now that I'm
So-
saying it out loud, it sounds
yeah, I
kinda
know.
stupid.
So
Depends if you don't like returning or not. Like I personally don't like to have
Yeah,
to
most people
do
don't.
the return part
Right.
of it.
Right.
So I'd rather guess on what I think is my best guess of what it would be. And generally, if it's not that, then what it would be. So for me personally, I would, if I ever have to return something, it's to get one other thing. And maybe on the like 50-50 chance, I won't even have to do the return. So I just
Sure.
get one. That's just me.
that's fair.
Hey, if it works for you,
Yeah,
Derek.
you're allowed to.
I
just hate returning stuff with a passion.
I hear you. See, for me, I don't. Like some people are like, oh, I
So
hate it.
there you
I'm like,
go.
it's
Yeah.
honestly too easy.
Derek
Clearly.
enjoys it. He's like, I
Yeah.
hope this
Honestly,
doesn't
it's-
work out.
He buys
You're
like
like-
women's tennis shoes. Oh, I guess I got to return them.
Wow.
He
I
loves
don't do
returning
that.
stuff.
I don't order random stuff just to return it. But anyway, so in my heyday, I was probably turning 40% of what
Wow.
I got.
That is something.
amazing.
But that's if I needed multiple of something and like wanted to try it.
Was
so.
there a moment that credit card rewards had anything to do with it at all?
Maybe. I don't know if I ever did that.
Are you outing him right now? Are
I'm
the credit card
just-
people
That's
going to
another
arrest
thing
him?
about Derek.
I have nothing to hide.
Okay. I'm
Like
just
some
asking.
credit cards you have to hit a minimum spend on.
Yeah, that's
so-
what I'm getting at.
I think there was one time that I ordered a bunch of stuff and then it gives you the bonus but it already gave it to you.
And
So
then
even
you
if you
return
return
it.
it, it's okay.
You cheater.
So I think I did that
Yeah.
one time.
That's another hot take about is that biblical?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is that
Yeah.
stealing?
But we don't need to get
well,
into it right now.
Here, yeah. Anyway,
One day.
Anyway.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought I had to ask.
That
No,
was
that's
a
very
wild
fun.
card. I
That is a
appreciate
very
that
good
question.
glimpse into Derek's life as far as little things about him.
Loves
Big
returning
Amazon,
packages.
Big
return,
returner guy.
and
I should just start a
purchaser.
business returning packages for people. I could honestly do
Oh
very
my
well.
word.
Bank.
Yeah, I know.
Instead of returning the items, they send them to you, which is basically doing the same thing.
They still have to package
Yeah,
them.
I mean, I was
exactly.
gonna say then they
You
don't
have to go to their house.
It'd be pointless.
Another
but
one
like,
of your local activities.
You're correct.
Yeah, only do it for
All
local
my
people.
local
big local
activities.
activity guy.
Yeah.
Very funny. Okay, Jen. Has anyone ever approached you with an issue that they had with you, and how did you respond?
Yeah, so there's a funny moment with this one, and it kind of goes back to Matthew 18. You know, in the
Yes,
Bible, it talks
shout
about
out.
if you have an issue with somebody, you should go to them 1st. Don't go talking behind their backs and all that stuff, which plenty of that goes on, especially when you're young and you're in school. You're like, oh, did you see what she did? And then what she did? So one time I was approached by one of my best friends in high school. I was probably in, this would have been 9th grade maybe. And she came over, asked if she could talk to me, and approached me. And the scenario is very, very funny, but the way she did it actually is kind of cool because it does, I feel like she did it in the way that you're supposed to. She set a time to come talk to me, sat me down, was very kind, and then she proceeded to tell me that she thought I was a bit too flirty with the boys in the school.
Oh wow!
Wow.
She really called,
Back to
called it out.
Anyway.
Chat hashtag
No,
Lucratius.
so that was actually what it was. It was she actually came and she said, hey, she's like, I just think you should be more careful because I think people could be taking this the
That's a
wrong
good
way.
friend.
Wait,
And-
was she your friend or an older person? I
No,
missed
she
it.
was my friend. She was
Okay.
just
That's
one
a
year
great
old, 1 year
friend.
older than
She
me.
loved you enough to be
Yeah.
honest.
Also, I think she liked the guy that I was flirting with.
Oh,
All too
wow.
well.
A
Little
twofold.
less
So is that Matthew 18?
No, I don't actually know. The details are
Yeah.
fuzzy, but I remember that was one very rare moment growing up that someone actually came to me and wanted to talk to me in a kind way. And I appreciate, like, in the moment, it was hard. Like, I kind of wanted to defend myself, and I don't remember exactly how it all played out. But I was like, because of the way she approached me and the heart behind it, it was, and I couldn't deny it, really. I was like, she might have something,
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't my intention, I could see what she meant. Like, she had, like, things to show me as to why she thought the way she did. And I just remember at the end of our conversation, like, we were okay. There was no issue with the friendship.
Right.
Like, we were fine, and I actually took it to heart, and I tried to be more careful. The heart behind it, like, if you're going to be the one to go, because I've gone to a few people in my time, and I realize I have as much responsibility in the heart behind why I'm going to somebody and approaching it as they do in receiving it. We always think, well, if we come to you, you have to receive it because you're supposed to. You're the one at fault, all that stuff. But if you're coming in the wrong attitude with the wrong heart behind it, then you're just as much at fault. And so there's been more things in my life that in that scenario has happened since then. But that's just one thing that I remember. And so, yeah, be willing to go to people if there's an issue instead of going behind their back. And then if you are approached, like, be humble about it. Be willing to realize, like, you aren't perfect, and maybe it is a fault that you have. And another key I've learned is do not necessarily respond right away. Because often your initial instinct is to defend
Think about it.
yourself.
To defend
Because
yourself,
it feels bad when you feel like you're being called out,
Right,
and you
right.
want to defend your honor. But it's like, often if you're feeling those things rise up, just take a moment and say, you know what? Thanks for sharing this with me. And I think they talked about this at on Becoming Something podcast before, where it's like, I'm glad, like, thank you for coming to me. I'm just going to need some time to process this and then circle back. So anyway.
That's good.
It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Derek, what are your roles within your job and road and church ministry, and which is your favorite?
Yeah, good question. So I'm the development manager here for Express. So I do, like, our YouTube, social media, all that stuff. And then I work with our fundraiser committees for all our banquets, auctions, golf tournament, volleyball tournament. I get to work with a lot of the committees. And then I work with Nelson Copeland on some of the international, our well projects that we do. Help coordinate some of those. I'm really excited about that, what's going on there. But yeah, probably one of the funnest things that I enjoy with that is working with the committees. Honestly, when you get to work with people that have a heart for something and that literally work so much and don't get paid for it, like, obviously there's little things we can do and little tokens of appreciation and stuff, but you couldn't pay them. I mean, it would be hard to pay them for all they're doing. So big shout out to all them. I really love them. Working with them is honestly a ton of fun. And it's when you work for something, when you have a common goal working together, that's honestly really fun. So here at church, I help with the PowerPoint stuff when I'm here at home. That's really fun. I enjoy doing that, honestly. And we have a good team there. And being in the sound booth is honestly fun. Just with the people that are in there on a given Sunday, you build kind of a team, a function. So that's pretty much, And then traveling with my family, obviously a ton of fun. And we've seen so many cool places. Honestly, seeing all the places we've done, seeing all the places that we've been to.
All the places we've done.
All the places that we've done. All the people we've been to.
All right.
But yeah, all the cool places we've been to, all the people we've got to meet is one of the highlights. But yeah, that's what I do locally. And yeah, I really, really enjoy what I do here. So
Very
cool.
nice.
Yeah. Derek does such a good job with everything. He has so many, like, roles to play with Gospel Express, and he's crushing it, doing a good job.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Jen, so we talked about it earlier, you know, your 30-minute road trip and how you stopped and slept. And how you have a process before you stop and sleep. What do you do if you get sleepy? Like what are the steps you go through before you pull over, you know?
Yeah, I should probably start selling these because there's some good ones
I
here.
don't know. I'm questioning the effectiveness of them, but
Yeah, for me, not super effective, I guess. But so I these are some things that I try, and you guys can all try these and let me know what works for you. But the first one is you listen to something loud, loud music. That's
sure.
like kind of your first step. See if that works.
yeah.
Talking on the phone, That's a big one. If you're tired by yourself,
Feels like
get on the phone,
Human
start
interaction.
chatting.
Be tired with somebody else.
Yeah, that'll help. I have started to fall asleep on the phone while driving, however. So then you're,
So it doesn't work.
like I've done that. But talking on the phone, singing, that's karaoke. That's huge. That helps me a lot because it's hard to fall asleep when you're really belting it out. Singing, and then when you get past some of those general things, you get to the next one that I usually try is pinching your leg right under your kneecap, that skin that's right there. You
on
pinch
the inside or outside?
inside, and it hurts. I will tell you that. I have had
did you
bruises
learn
there
this?
because it's the easiest
you
thing to
bruised
reach
yourself?
while you're driving.
That is.
So
You're
I will
hurting yourself to
you
stay
pinch
awake?
yeah.
Self-harm. You
Yeah.
heard it here first.
No, it's pinching.
Whoa,
I mean, it's not like
absolutely
Yeah.
not.
So I would do that. I do that a lot, just because it helps you. Like because pain sensors kind of jolt you, so that helps.
I guess.
And so the other thing that you can do is chewing ice. That is a really good one.
As long as no one's in the car with you.
Yeah, well, if someone's in the car with you, hopefully they're helping you stay awake. These are solo road trips, you guys.
Solo road
Yeah,
trip
yeah,
tips.
And I do
Gotcha.
so many of these.
Yeah.
So this is what I have to do.
you
Sometimes I'm
carry
so
ice with
tired.
you?
No, you stop at this gas station, get yourself a cup of ice.
Gotcha.
Usually it's free, fun fact, and chomp on that ice. It jolts the brain. So that, and then ice on your eyes. If you take a piece of ice, hold it against your lid, your one eyelid, that will light you up.
Wow. Wow,
And
Jen.
then the next one, vice versa.
Does it just like wake up your eyes?
Yep.
Or?
Wakes up your eyes, and it's cold on the face, so just kind of like jolts you.
Wait, but okay, I'm guessing you leave one open. You know,
No, double it.
Yeah.
Jen just gave me
I
the
closed
biggest
both-
eye
I
roll
closed
I've
both my
ever
eyes.
seen.
Yes, one at a time.
Wow, interesting.
And then also the window down. Put your window down. If it's cold outside, that will do it. And you put your one
stick
arm
your head
out.
You can stick
Well,
your
I
head out.
tried that too. It's a little hard. I can't see very well to drive because my head isn't it's not long enough that I can get it.
So you're stuck in the in between.
I'm like looking at the
mirror?
middle
The
of my
mirror.
car. You're like, no, the door frame of my car is what I'm looking at when I'm doing that.
Mom is absolutely losing it.
So,
She's going through it.
so that's one thing. Also, that whole holding a penny, holding a quarter out the window.
What?
That's
Oh,
like
you mean like against the wind?
you
like,
put it on one
Oh,
finger.
have you
and
tried that?
Yeah, I lost every quarter.
Jen.
That's stupid because
I
I
just
still
lost
fall asleep.
money.
I thought you were going to say hold daddy's money outside the car and see if you can hold on to it like a $100 bill. That's
Motivation,
what a lot of
Jen.
people do because they
Ooh.
take
I
it
don't do that.
seriously.
Yeah, I do
Well, you
quarters.
lose every
I
one
do
of those
quarters
too,
because
yeah.
I know I'm going to lose it.
That's so
that
funny.
the window stuff helps, and then also like slapping your face.
I've done
I've
that.
definitely
I have
done
Just
that.
smack it.
I've definitely
it
done
hurts
that.
and it makes you so mad, but it helps wake you
I've
up.
done it.
Yelling.
Yep,
That's
done
I've
that.
I've yelled like very loudly.
Yep.
And then this one's actually kind of nifty. Is you do a wall sit, but on the backs of your car.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So you put it in cruise control, put your
Yeah,
feet
yeah,
on
yeah.
the mat, hike up a little bit, push back
Mhm.
against the seat. That's hard.
Yeah.
And that keeps you awake. That, and then my very last one that used to work, it doesn't work as good now because my car doesn't wiggle like it used to, but my car used to vibrate. Like the
Yeah.
steering wheel just vibrated just a little bit. So I would put my teeth on the top of the wheel
my
and
Lord.
bite down.
Jen, no, you're kidding,
You're
right?
And
kidding.
just my
That's the
teeth.
dirtiest part of your car.
It's fine.
Jen, it's your
Just
teeth.
my teeth, and then it would literally jiggle my head just enough.
And you can see then, but
That-
you can't see with your head
Yeah.
out the window.
So it's like this. You're like this,
oh my
and your eyes
kidding me.
can just peek out over, and you just grip down, and you just do it however many times you need to get yourself
Oh my
going.
goodness.
I kid you not. Sounds crazy. Worked.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. What?
So
Like,
yeah,
that
that's,
visual is just
She's
like
just biting down on her
Yeah.
steering wheel.
and now I'm kind of
Imagine-
annoyed because my car's so smooth now. It doesn't help.
Imagine
But
being in the car going the other way.
yeah,
You're just
or
like,
passing
"What
her
was
and she's
that?"
biting the wind
You're
the
like,
the
"Excuse me?"
windshield.
the windshield when she's
steering
biting
wheel.
the steering
Crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy,
Do you have
but
bite marks in your steering wheel?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
I totaled both those cars that I bit.
Oh,
So.
you haven't done it in this car?
Oh, this car's not.
So
It's not.
it doesn't
So you
jiggle.
haven't totaled your cars being sleepy. You've totaled them just being a terrible driver.
No, I've totaled them because of other people, like
Oh.
getting in my way. Yeah.
Man.
Anyway, so yeah, so
So
those
guys,
are some
write-
tips, guys,
write
that I
them
use.
down.
And that's like, and so you know how many times I stop and sleep a lot while I drive.
Yeah.
And usually like it's pretty soon after I start, even on the road trips. Like I'll leave in the morning. Yesterday I left Ohio. I had a 7-hour drive. I got 45 minutes in, and I stopped and slept at a park for a while. I was tired.
Do you ever try just thinking?
Yeah, thinking is supposed to be straight to sleep.
No. If you're deep enough in thought about a serious thing in your life or like something you're
Yeah.
actually trying
Yeah.
to process through, sometimes I've tried everything in the book and I'm like, all right, just think.
Yeah.
And I will sit there and think, and all of a sudden an hour goes by and I'm like, I haven't gotten sleepy one bit because I'm so deep in thought about this thing. I agree with you. Like you can still go to sleep while that's happening, but sometimes it's cognitive brain activity. Mm-hmm. Speaking with someone on the phone next to you or thinking through a night. Sometimes that helps for me.
I should try that. I mean, usually if I'm tired, like I can't think. And so that's my problem. But yeah, I should try to really get into something deep. If you pretend you're in like a play and you're acting, you're the actor and also the other actors. I've done that.
What was that?
So you like the
say that again?
Put your visor or your backward mirror, turn it towards you, and look in it, and you pretend that you're in a play.
We are really getting the inside scoop of Jen's brain right
Honestly,
now. This is crazy.
I've done that so many times where you're two people, so you're playing a narrative, and you're both people. I have cried on demand in the car because I'm playing
in a role.
That you are a real person.
I'm playing.
That's amazing. Wow.
It's crazy.
There's things I wouldn't even do in a car by myself. Like being afraid
awake.
that I myself would weird myself out by doing that.
That's funny. I'm going to have to try
and that.
that.
Is
Act out a
you
little
can go
something.
hours, and you're just like, what scene am I in? Act 3, scene 2.
Call it the fear of man or the fear of me. I don't
fear
think
of
I
me.
have to do it.
I have no fear of me.
I love that you do that.
Clearly.
I love that you do
So
that.
anyway, so that's hopefully that helps you guys out. I
amazing.
am actually I want to find out from people, what do you do to stay awake on a road trip, because I'm kind of exhausted all of these. Like I've done them all, and I'm still sleeping a lot.
They're losing their
effectiveness or
Yeah.
potency.
Well, the other thing is, I think mentally, I give up. I'm like, I know that I can stop and sleep. That's an option for me in my head.
Yeah.
And so
that's
when
like
I-
going into
when I
marriage
know-
thinking divorce is an option. If it is an option, it
Except this
happens.
isn't a sin.
Feels very different.
No, but
So-
feels very
yeah.
different.
leaving it as an option, you will absolutely
Because
use
I
it.
drove
Yeah.
through the night one time, just recently to get to a volleyball tournament from an event. I did
didn't
not
have
sleep
time
at
to
all.
stop.
And I didn't have time, and I
There you
knew
go.
that, and so I did make it.
Right.
So I know
don't-
I
don't let it
probably
be an
can.
option.
But I
But if
don't-
there's times where you
yeah.
don't have to.
like
make
last
it.
night, I could be home at 9. I could be home at 2 in the morning. It didn't matter, and so I was like,
Might as well be safe.
Yeah.
Then push it.
And there are times where like it is dangerous because I'm going across the line.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, and I pull over for those instances. I'm not trying to hurt somebody else,
Sure.
Very smart.
Sure.
Yeah.
or me. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Wow. That is a lot of insight on that
was.
one. Man,
I feel
deep
exposed.
inside the brain of Jen. Well, you're the one that... No, I'm not going to say that. Derek, any travels overseas coming up or anything that's in the makings?
Yes, got a big trip coming up actually. Coming up here in late August. I'm going with some friends to Iceland and Norway. So
Whoa.
2 for 1 money.
Sweet.
Wow.
Really excited about that. So that's with some of our office staff here, and then our house parents Clinton and Tara. So
Cool.
And their baby.
and their baby.
That's crazy. Going with the
So
baby.
Evan Lee, I know she's just a couple months old now,
Crazy.
and yeah, by then she'll be So,
It's so cool.
but yeah, I'm really excited. It's gonna be a big trip. So yeah.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Jen, are you do you feel like you're doing what you want to be doing right now? Or are you being who you want to be for Christ in this season of life?
The answer to that would be kind of, and I say that because I feel like I've always been like, okay, what's the thing the one thing I'm supposed to be doing, and thinking that there's only one thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't, like, there's been many times where I'm like, I'm definitely not in that. I've never been in that yet. What is the one thing? But I have been learning that the things God's gifted you in doing, if you're using your gifts in whatever scenario you're in, or whatever job you're in, or whatever community you're in, then you can be right where God wants you to be, doing what he's called you to do, even if maybe it's not that one perfect thing that is elusively out there that you think you're going to get to.
Yeah.
So in that, I feel like there's so many things I want to do and things I want to grow in, and I'm looking to see what maybe God's calling me to in the future, but just trying to be in the moment of where I'm at and using my gifts for him right now. And so I think you can be where God wants you to be no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm learning. So I would say, yeah, like that's, I for right now this season, until he like specifically calls me to something else, I would say that I'm, where he wants me to be, and still growing though and learning what that looks like.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. I don't think we ever arrive.
Yeah.
Like to
Right.
say, yes, I'm exactly where I want to be, and like I'm doing everything. It's like, yeah, I mean, you could be in the center of his will and still be missing something as far as like who he's teaching you to be or whatever. Like, I think that's wise to say. The second we arrive and stop learning, we're going backwards.
Yeah.
And no one likes to be around someone that has arrived.
Yeah.
And people that act that way.
Yep.
I mean, I have zero tolerance and grace for people that think that they know everything, because when you think you know, that means you don't know. And when you know you don't know, that means you know.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I followed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
That's solid.
That's very good.
So, Derek, last question for you here in this segment. We're getting close to wrapping up here, guys. So if you've lasted this long, props to you.
We love you.
Bless
we love
y'all.
You, Nate. So, Derek, what is the big dream in life, or any goals or vision that you have with Gospel Express that you'd like to share, whether it's for you personally or for the ministry?
Yeah. I would say a little bit what Jen said too. Like right now, I feel like I am living the dream of like when I was younger, I picture like this being my dream, but now that I'm in it, like this literally is the dream. Like getting to do ministry for a living with my family, and then doing something that I'm passionate about, which is helping other people, like what we do in Uganda, Africa, and also like empowering like churches and people to grow, and like that kind of goes with discipleship. Like that's what Christ commanded us to do. So the fact that I get to be in a ministry full time, that helps facilitate that, and to go into prison and to be able to do ministry overseas is literally my dream. So I think for me, kind of my personal like kind of dream with that is to help make other people's dreams become reality. So like I love hearing what people are passionate about, what their big dreams are about, and then like what can I do like to help make that actually become reality. Like if somebody has a passion for woodworking, or they have a passion, how could I make that their career? How could I help them do the things that they're actually passionate about? And because I think we all have those dreams, and like I want to be a facilitator to help make those come about, and to help people out of tough situations. There's a lot of those in Uganda that we get to help with, and even here in the U.S., help people out of tough situations, and that way they can have good for their family and help other people. So that's kind of my dream. With Express, it's I'm excited for what's going on here, and I think God has called. We've seen it here in the ministry. There's this thing, you don't have to be doing full-time ministry to like this thing of like, oh, if you're not in full-time ministry, you're not doing it right. There's so many different ways you can be in full-time ministry, and we've seen that between business people and then like nonprofits. We've seen that, and I know you guys have seen that with Door of Hope, Jen. Like you need both, and how can we bridge that gap that people have passion, that want to put their dollars behind something, and then we're the implementers? Like how can we do that in a professional way that like that really helps people that have a heart for ministry, help them go on trips, help them to see what their money is going towards, and doing that really well. That is something I have a passion for, that we're working on. And Express has been doing this for a while, and they've done a great job. And I'm just glad to be here and be part of that process or whatever. So, yes. So,
Awesome.
So that's
That's great. Love the vision.
Yeah.
If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. It's
Every
good to have
time.
goals and vision and long-term
And I'm a
things.
good shot.
great shot.
It's a slam for yourself.
Another self-burn. Those are rare.
I just have a lot of burns, and I'm like, shoot, but it's
Shoot,
on
wait,
me.
they're on
It's
me.
me.
Dad
Dang it.
gummit, roasted myself
But I'm gonna
again.
just say it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
thanks for that, Derek.
Yeah.
Jen, last question for you, kind of along the same lines. I mean, you said you work with Door of Hope, and would you mind sharing some of your personal fulfillment challenges or vision you've had within working with Door of Hope currently and stuff?
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years since I've been working with them, and it's definitely full of like fulfilling things and challenges as well. I think something that's very fulfilling is the main thing is seeing people come to our ministry that need help and need hope and are very broken, and through the power of Jesus working through our staff, they're able to find that hope and that healing they've been looking for. I mean, that's what it's all about. Like I do a lot of administrative work and coordinating and planning and a lot of the details, and it can be very exhausting at times, and it can be overwhelming, and just like a lot of the same like mental things that it takes for me. But when I think to why I'm actually doing it, and that I'm doing what I do so that the ministry can run the way it is, so that people can come and get help, that's what it's all about, and that's what's very fulfilling, and I don't want to ever forget that. And also with, I feel like I do have some of the, I'm working in my giftings as far as administrative things, leading out in things, leading the team, doing things like that. Like it's something that I feel like I know what I'm doing. And so that's very fulfilling, but also very challenging, because there are a lot of things whenever you have to. I'm not as good of a delegator as I should be. I'm very much more like, I'll just do it myself because I don't want other people to have to, or maybe there isn't anybody to do it. And so I just do it. And so I can tend to be a bit overwhelmed and take on too much. So learning how to delegate and let things go, and maybe it won't be done the way that I would have done it, but it still is getting done, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a challenge, and learning to lead in areas that I don't know how to and that no one before me really has done, and implementing new things for the ministry and for the staff, for the team, like how we do things, trying to blaze that trail in some ways and not always feeling equipped or knowing how, but trying to just step out and learn as I go. It's definitely been challenging, but it's been good for me, and it pushes me a lot. So there's definitely a lot of challenges, but I feel like it's definitely exciting because of what I'm able to do with my skill set and working with people and all of that, but also the goal being to help those that are hurting and in need. So that's what we do at Door of Hope, and I get to be a part of that, and it can be easy to get just overwhelmed by all the things I have to do that aren't as like maybe fun or easy, but keeping perspective of why am I doing what I'm doing, and if God has gifted me in certain things that can help other people help people, then that's like what I want to do and if he calls me to do something else. So yeah, so I enjoy it, and it's good, and it's fulfilling, and there's a lot of good things happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see how long, I don't know how, I'm not saying I'll be at Door of Hope for the rest of my life, but I know the things that I'm learning here and have learned are going to propel me into, if there is something in the future that I can be used for sure.
Yeah. It's equipping you with a lot of really good values and things in life. That's amazing. Door of Hope is an incredible ministry, and they're doing a lot of good things. Yeah. So cool that you can be a part of it and help promote some of those things and be the leader of it. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
Being faithful where you're planted is big. Like looking at something and saying, I might not be here forever, but while I'm here, I'm going to fully invest in that is huge. And kind of what I felt like coming through there, Jen, was like self-awareness, like when both you shared, is like knowing what your skill set is, maybe knowing some of the weaknesses as well, and being able to say those out loud. Self-awareness is so huge in the ability to grow, because if someone else in the organization has to point those things out, it's much harder to receive, first of all, because it's a new idea to you. Like, oh, I didn't know I was bad at that or whatever. And so like to me, that's another thing where it's like it's really hard to give grace to someone that feels like they think they have it all together, and you're like, how do you tell them they don't? It's so much harder. Whereas when someone's like very, self-burn or whatever like that you're doing, like you're very aware, and it's like that helps so much that you personally can self-assess and grow, but then also the organization you're with thrives because you're aware, if I'm the event planner and I'm really bad at this part of it, I'm going to have somebody else do that. That makes the event better versus you saying, I'm in charge, I have to do everything. And being the ceiling for that event or that organization. That's the first killer of life in anything, is someone that has to be top dog and has to do everything and has to have their hands in everything. It just stifles things so quickly. And so being able to, I think that's why you're thriving in the role that you're doing, is you're self-aware, honestly. But
Yeah.
Thanks for that. I still have a lot to learn for sure.
Yeah. Well, there it is again.
Don't we all?
Why am I so aware?
Why are you so humble?
There it is.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys, as being 3 decades old, I can't imagine, I'm so far removed from that scenario in my life.
Oh,
just
my
a
stars.
lifetime away from
Do you want to tell them how old you are?
I just can't. Yeah.
What are you, 2?
3 years from now just looks so
An
far away.
eternity.
Oh, my stars.
Are you actually 27?
I just turned 27. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So not far behind, but you guys could still be my parents because you're so old. But that's just part of the deal. So
Love giving
while
birth
they're
at
down.
3.
do you guys
My
have any
stars.
words, like as a 30-year-old, like how different is life now than when you were maybe 16, your favorite year, or what's something at 30 that you just recently discovered? As in, I feel like there's growth in every season of life, and like I look at my life and I say, man, from 18 to 25, I became a completely different person in how I did ministry, how I did relationships, personality, all those things like really shifted, and I felt like I grew a lot in that time. So like even from 21 to 30, what are things that you didn't know at 21, your worst year, to what you know now.
I had a good life, guys.
Yeah.
But 21 was just
Either
rough.
of you, if you have anything.
Yeah,
if you
you
have
guys
nothing,
have
that's
anything,
great.
speaking
But like
of
if there's
that.
something like kind of just in general that you'd want to tell the world, like I'm 30 and here's what I know because I've lived, 3 decades on this earth, what would it be?
I think for me it would be think longer term. And what I mean by that is if there's something, it's so easy to look at a skill, something you want to learn. It's so easy to look at, oh my, all this work that I have to put in to get there or something. And we think so short term. But if you were to take something like a bigger skill, like learning an instrument or something, and just work on it consistently, you'd be amazed where you could be at in a year, in 2 years. So I think that would be my thing is there's things I wish I would have started, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And you think, oh, I'm going to be in such a different place at that point. But oftentimes life looks more the same than we realize. And so the things that you want to get good at and learn and just be consistent. That's what I would say. Like just do whatever, do it for 10 minutes. If you can be consistent over a year, 2 years, 5 years, like you will be way beyond most people in that thing. So I think that would be my encouragement. If there's something you want to do and also get clear on, like, look for clarity in what you want to do and go after. Like, kind of like, what do you want your life to look like? Like, what are the passions God has laid on your heart? Is it business? Is it, this is going to be in business, with relationships, with church. What do you want your life to look at? Like, and actually like write some stuff down and get clear on it. I think in the world of podcasts and YouTube, and there is so much content, and it's hard to know, like, what should I focus on or what should I be listening to? But if you're clear on kind of what you want and where you feel your life path is going, that'll help you. That'll help you a lot. I'm still learning that. feel like I'm just learning that. And if I would have known that 10 years ago, I feel like, it would be a good, valuable thing to have. So that, and get alone with Jesus as early as you can. I've been blessed with some of the kids we had at Prairie Camp this year, being in touch with them, and just their desire for spiritual things at that age is such a key, I think, in life. It's so easy to just hang out with your friends, to just focus on what's fun. But I think if you start taking your spiritual relationship seriously at a younger age, I wish I would have, I'd be way further ahead than I am now. So, yeah.
That's good.
That's great advice.
Yeah. I think the main thing that I would have learned is the phrase I mentioned earlier, if not now, when. I think being almost 30 now, I definitely thought when I was 20 certain things where I would be now that would just be second nature, that I would learn, that I would have discipline in. I was like, oh yeah, when I'm 30, of course I'll have that. But you do not have that if you do not create those habits. And so there are things that I regret to say that at 30 years old that I have not done or have not implemented into my life or have not been disciplined in, like, that I thought I would have, but it does not just happen. It just doesn't. And so the biggest thing I've learned is discipline takes discipline, and it does not get easier when you get older. It gets harder. Honestly, it gets harder. And so to anybody that's young and you're like, oh, of course, by the time I'm 30, I'll have all these disciplines in place and I'll be at this place with all these things. It's like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't just happen. You have to take the time and the initiative to be disciplined and go for what you want, set goals like Derek was saying, and then go after them. Because if you don't do it now, you will not do it. It will not be tomorrow. It will not be next year. Like, oh, when I turn 25, I'll be this.
Yeah.
You won't. Not unless you change your habits now. Good. And so I'm not discouraged in that, because I know I have like so many more years ahead, and I know I can always start things now that I wish I would have done sooner. But I'm just imagining the places I could be at in certain areas of my life had I been more intentional when I was 20 years old. And so don't miss that, like, for anyone that's young. And for anyone that's my age and older, it's never too late to be able to do amazing things and create good habits. Like, it's not a loss. It's not a regret you have to live in. And I'm almost like, didn't Jesus start his ministry at 33? Or was it 30? Okay, it was 30. It was 30 till 30.
So Jen, we're just getting started.
Yeah. So there
Guys
actually
are
is an
just getting
excitement that
going.
comes with 30 that I'm like, not that you
You've
wait
got
to
3
start your
years-
ministry.
You got 3 years left.
3 years left. Well, but I can't start yet.
make it a good
Jesus
run.
didn't start till 30. But that concept has been in my mind of like, I'm turning 30, but like this, it could be the most effective year of my life and years of my life moving forward.
Yep.
And so I'm excited about that, but also like start now. And just know that it will not. Things that are hard now don't get easier later, just because it's more time.
Yep.
It doesn't. So really
very
push
good.
for what you want and put in the work, because it will be worth it later.
Some good 30-year-old advice right there.
Yeah.
3
Soaking it
decades
all
really
in.
makes it sound.
Yeah.
3 decades makes it sound like I should be in one of those mummy tombs,
Oh
like
my
absolutely
stars.
wrapped
It's
up,
literally
dead.
not even that
But
many.
10 years, 30 years.
It's the new prime.
Yeah, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, you know, I've been a podcast host for all of 2 hours and 15 minutes now, and
Yeah,
with
buddy.
that experience comes the knowledge of what to do, what not to do, and I thought it'd only be appropriate to play devil's advocate one more time and hit you guys with a surprise question that you weren't anticipating right here on the spot.
Really? All
right.
They were not prepped for
should
this
be
question.
scared.
I'm looking at you, camera. Call me Nate on BSO. Basically, I'm not speaking for Eugene right now. I'm speaking for the person listening to this.
Okay.
So,
Giving the people what they want.
You're speaking
Okay.
to the world.
the question
from the
everyone's asking, and I have to ask it for them because
Jen,
Oh,
do you
Lord.
know what's? I think I
Help
might
me.
know what's coming.
so
I hope I don't know.
you work in the same building every day. You do a podcast together in the basement of said building. You're both single and the same age. Explain to the audience once and for all. Give me a reason why you guys are not together or would never get together.
Eugene
It's not me
Miller.
asking.
Yes, it is.
It's not me. I'm
And
playing the
it's
devil's
what the
advocate.
people
I
want.
just give
This
the
is
people what they
America.
want.
It's what the
We complete the
listeners
fib.
want.
Speech.
Honestly, this is saving you guys the work from having this conversation every 3
you
days.
have no idea
No.
the
Am I
hyenas
wrong?
But we haven't
ward
even talked
off
about
on
it.
this question.
Yes, we have.
I mean, like, not
Jen.
specifically.
You don't know where you guys are at?
Jen,
Convince
Jen.
me. Convince me and the rest of
Jen.
the world that is
Okay, I'm not going to
questioning.
say anything then. I'm going to let Derek talk.
Oh.
No, meaning like, I want to
what
let
does
him
that
say what he
mean?
wants to say.
Okay, yeah, just
That is quite the question.
prove the
Answer it or
question
don't.
Prove
wrong.
that friendships can exist
Yes,
platonically
yes.
for a long
If
period
If
of
you
time.
are passionate
is that what
about
we're trying to
why
prove?
you guys
Yeah.
aren't together, explain
Yeah,
it.
explain why you're not, and explain that you aren't, or that maybe you are. Maybe we'll get a surprise answer.
I was literally about. Should we announce it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, just kidding.
They just start holding hands.
We got married.
Whoa.
I'm kidding.
All right,
Do you want to?
yeah.
Thank
do
you
you
for
want to go,
clarifying.
Jen?
Yeah. No. I was not prepared for this question.
That's exactly. the
Exactly.
point.
We do get asked that a lot, though, for sure.
Yeah,
but
we're trying to help you out.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say
know. I know.
What
Go ahead.
Grace said. This will put all the rumors like just.
There you go.
Yeah, this will put all the rumors.
For anyone that
to rest.
listens
It
to this
probably
particular
won't.
episode.
It probably won't. People will still ask.
that's-
Yeah,
that's
and that's
okay.
fine.
It is
People
helping.
always ask.
Honestly,
Say,
they
oh,
will.
go listen to episode.
Yeah, you're for the
Yeah.
answer. I will say this. I believe that men and women can very platonically be genuine friends without there being any kind of like romantic relationships. It doesn't mean that like you've never thought about it or that you've never like maybe like addressed it. So, I mean,
Yeah, don't talk about this in a general sense. This is a specific
this
question.
is a specific sense. Jen,
Yes.
has it ever crossed my mind that you and me would be in a relationship? Yes. Have I been very honest with that? And Jen, we've talked about this. I mean, this has been a while ago, but
Jen,
Not like this. Anyway,
Why-
go
Jen
ahead.
is so uncomfortable.
you wanted
Yeah,
me,
I'm
you
not
wanted me
feeling
to
too good
talk
right now.
You wanted
Yeah,
me
you're
to
doing
talk.
great.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going. So, yeah, what I tell people is we're great friends. I appreciate you so much. Literally, when it comes to like just anything that with a relationship, I'm like, that's not us. Like, and it's nothing like.
Doesn't mean that you don't like each other. Doesn't mean that you're not
Jen
great
is
friends.
an amazing friend. She's
Yeah.
one of my like
Aw.
as a girl, she's one of probably my closest
best
friends
girlfriends.
of a girl. So,
Yeah.
and that's
Take that.
and it's very true because we can get under each we can get
Yeah.
under each other's
Oh,
skin.
we know.
Just
We
like
heard
they
Oh,
did
trust
on
me.
this podcast about 30 minutes ago.
So anyway, I appreciate Jen genuinely so much. It's just one of those things that she's a genuine good friend, and I tell people we both know where we're at. Like that's what I tell people when people ask me because I feel like people deserve to know.
Yeah.
So
I don't. It's my business. I'm kidding. I do
So-
get annoyed at at the fact that you can't, that people always assume that.
People assume that you should be together if you get along.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
some of it is your actions and your banter back and forth, like saying, "Yeah, Derek and I aren't married yet."
Yeah.
That's a direct quote.
Jen
from
has
one of the
said that here
podcasts.
on the
It's true,
podcast.
it's
And
true.
I'm like, excuse
which I
me?
think is hilarious, but
Yeah.
some people.
You're right. Some people
we all
wouldn't
know what she meant.
There's just a lot of comments and banter that, like,
Yeah.
if somebody didn't know, they
it's
would
true.
be like, Jen, Derek, I think you guys are being a little bit flirty. Like, they would hit you with a Matthew
Yeah.
18 approach, So, Jen, do you have anything for?
Yeah, so
for,
what do you have to say to this?
It's not me asking the question again. I
Yeah.
go back to that.
I'm sure it's not.
Jen,
No,
yeah.
that's a good answer, Derek. I agree with what he said. Like, obviously, you just because someone's the same age, they're both single, they get along really well, it doesn't mean that the factors are there for a romantic or marriage relationship. Sometimes
that's just what we want clarity on.
Sometimes it's just not, and like, and I'm not gonna lie, like it would be easier in a way if there was, because it's like
if you
Yeah.
just
Well,
want to
we
be
both-
together.
I
anyway.
know.
we both live
You're
here.
both
No,
single.
you're right.
We're both single. We're both want to be married. We do a lot together. It's like, why not just get married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people have told me that. I was just at a family reunion this weekend, and everyone's like, "So that podcast, you do,
podcast.
what's going on
What's
with
the
that?
hold up
Married
over there?
already? Like, why are you? Nothing's going on. Like he's single, right? Like, what's going on?" And I get it all the time, and like I always tell him to him, like, he is an incredible person, and like I said, like I probably it'd be nice if we both were on the same page in that way. But it's okay if you're not. It's okay if you know that you have a friendship that is valuable and that you care about each other and you can be friends in a way that you're not concerned about the other person getting the wrong impression. And you can have that banter and you can
You don't have to worry that one of
work
you guys
on-
is fallen.
yeah,
for
work
one
on
another.
projects together, and you can do things together that like you bring things to the table because you have certain things that complement each other. You know, it's awesome that you can do that and not, it doesn't have to be in the romantic way. Now, the culture we live in, everyone's like, why not? Like, just do it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, there needs to be like more than just that, like more than just, you check all A, B, and C boxes.
For sure.
So not to say that anything, like Derek's incredible, and I hope that like both of us can find people someday. I think that we will, but it's probably
It's
in
not
the
each
cards
other.
for us.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's great.
I was like, what? How crazy would it have been if you'd had one of those like classic movie moments where one's like, "Ha ha, never in a million years," and the other one's like,
I know.
Tears.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary is there have been so many times where that's happened in friendships.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's happened in friendships years down the road when they at one time said never, you know? And so like,
Never
and I'm not
say
saying this,
never.
Derek, 'cause I think you're mature enough to handle this, Derek, but like, I'm not closed off to anything that God would have. And so
Right.
Sure.
there's times where things,
I don't think either of
where
you are,
things
yeah.
shift and like, you're like, what? Like,
That's good.
So it's
People
like,
that,
you
That way you
can't,
don't have to eat those words later.
yeah, you can't ever be like, never, because God
Right.
literally does
crazy
things.
things. He does.
Yep.
He does.
And so, like, but right now you have to be open to him, and if he's not calling two people together, then you honor that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're at. But yeah, we both
said.
need to
Yeah.
respect each
Wow.
other and
Well
care
said.
about each other as friends.
Well, now
For
when
sure.
people ask, we can just reference them
Yeah.
to
Just-
Derek and
Well,
Jen's
and I think
birthday
it's
episode.
it's a huge like thing just by you guys answering that means that you are confident in that answer,
Yeah.
and it's not like you're
Yeah.
just trying to feel each other. Like, come on, guys, like take this answer and take it to heart. This is where they're at. Don't try to convince them otherwise. If they
Oh,
fall in love, they fall in
yeah.
love. But if not,
Really,
either
this-
date or don't.
This
Up to
question,
you.
this question was for your sakes. You know,
Yeah,
life will just be
honestly,
easier
We maybe
on
should
the
have
pod
just
from here on
dated
out.
and like broke up, so that we could
That
be like,
way
yeah,
we
we
could
tried
say-
it. Like, be like, yeah,
All right,
he's
It would be
classic-
horrible.
Classic Hollywood thing to do.
Yeah,
Date while you're on the
classic.
show and then break up later.
Yeah,
Yikes.
do it for the content.
No,
you
but
know?
I don't mind. That's the thing is like people do it all the time, but they do
Yeah.
it with other guys too. Any guy that's remotely close to my
Yeah.
age
Oh,
that's
yeah.
single because I'm
Anyone with
single.
a pulse and with
yeah,
an
they're just
age.
like,
Yeah.
how about him? I'm at my family reunion. I'm like, he's my second cousin, grandma. Like, you know,
Yeah,
hello.
Girl was like, hey.
Yeah.
Girl was like, hey. He's
So
nice.
I'm used to it, and I don't mind sharing, you know. But it is, yeah. What?
West
Started
Virginia-
singing
what?
Sweet Home Alabama. Okay.
So
Thank you for
that answered
answering.
that question.
Yeah.
It
I
was a
wasn't
little
sure if
dumb,
you
but
were
I wasn't
gonna.
prepared for that.
That's
Good.
I wasn't prepared, but that doesn't scare me because I get that question all the time about me and Jen.
Yeah,
so.
you guys should be
I know,
used
but
to
I answer
answering
it
that.
not in
never
front of
on-
Derek,
Never on
you know?
air
Oh,
together.
that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think this
You're
will clear
welcome.
up a lot of confusion for your listeners, you know.
Yeah.
Fair.
I love it.
Well, I think it's time to close her out,
I
Grace.
think it is too. Thank you guys so much for letting us be your hosts today. We've had a blast, and Eugene and I, you guys are huge roles for us, Eugene and I, and you guys play a big role in our lives.
I'm a huge role.
I've always wanted to be
It's
called a
my
huge
first
role.
time.
Are we talking about dinner roll?
Being
Yeah.
a podcast host, give me a break.
It's fine.
You've done amazing.
Yeah, you guys in your 30 years, Jen, I obviously haven't known you my whole life, but I've known Derek my whole life, and you guys are amazing and are just awesome friends and siblings, and so happy to be able to celebrate and honor you guys on your 30th birthday, and so excited for 30 more, hopefully even more than that.
Yeah. Can't wait to die at 60.
Yeah. So yeah, Eugene, you have anything you want to say with that?
No, that feels pretty good. You guys got any closing comments?
Honestly, I mean, we know who to call if we're ever out sick or
Yeah,
whoever.
I was gonna say,
you guys have done really well. Really
hosting,
well.
you crushed it, and
Really did.
it's impressive to show. Like we're not that good, Derek. Anybody can do it.
Honestly,
No,
anybody could. Do
I was
what we
sweating
do.
in my boots this whole
meaning you guys did
podcast.
such a great job
Yes.
at asking questions and being.
I just said sweating in my boots, shaking in my boots.
Sweating in my boots.
maybe
I'm
a little
sorry.
of both.
Yeah,
Stinky
maybe.
dogs.
Yeah, sorry.
Sweaty
With
dogs.
socks on, as long as you have socks
Oh
on.
my word.
But
Anyway,
yeah, the fact that you took time to do this or whatever and care enough to ask us questions. It was really, really fun.
Honestly,
actually,
it was
to be on this side
it
of
really
the mic.
Was. It really was
Relaxing, fun to just be able
Ditto,
to chat.
ditto.
So
yeah, we just
we
wanted people to get
appreciate
to
it.
know you guys a little bit more, and shout out to our mom as
Yeah.
well. She was the spearhead of this project and really brought it together.
Yeah, thanks for saying.
So we want to wish you guys a happy 30th birthday.
We love both
Thanks.
of you guys very much.
Thank
Appreciate you guys, and
I think it's only appropriate if you trigger our ending because, got to do something.
follow our
host-worthy.
lead.
Jen, you do.
Follow your lead.
Okay, follow your lead. This is the Interview Podcast. I have been Jen.
I have been Derek.
I've been Eugene.
I've been Grace.
Peace.
Ciao.
Ciao, baby.
Toodaloo.
See ya.